When this guy was standing around a party in his pajamas, telling a 10 out of 10 girl he could predict the future. Highly skeptical, she secretly texted a friend about the absolute lunatic in front of her and begged to be picked up, but Wu Chen casually informed her that her ride was not coming. See, her friend's ex-boyfriend just begged to get back together. She would call to cancel. In precisely 9 minutes and 13 seconds, since the girl had texted completely in secret, there was no physical way he could know, yet she still angrily accused him of being a total lunatic. Group of rough-looking guys suddenly crashed the venue. One thug immediately locked eyes on her, finding her highly attractive. Though she tried to resist his advances, fighting back against raw brute force was incredibly difficult. That was when Wu Chen stepped in, telling the thug to let go of her immediately. Forget the girl, brat, come here instead. The blonde thug hated being disrespected in front of his crew, so he instantly launched a sudden surprise attack, but Wu Chen did not even flinch. The thug realized this guy was seriously cold and decided to break him with a massive punch. With an incredibly fluid movement, Wu Chen easily slipped the strike and sent the bully flying backward a few meters with a clean punch to the chin. The crowd stood completely stunned as even more heavy-duty backup arrived. A boss in a sharp black suit announced that anyone touching his guys was practically dead, but Wu Chen retorted with a cold question that left the boss speechless. Didn't your brother Jiao teach you respect? I think I should call him. And just like that, Wu Chen dialed the phone and casually laid out the situation, warning the mob boss that a massive turf war would soon erupt. If he wanted their big May meeting to go well, he had better fix this immediately. Wu Chen dropped the phone to the chubby boss. It really was his brother on the line. Instantly, everyone was forced to bow their heads and desperately beg for forgiveness for their extreme rudeness, but Wu Chen did not lose his cool for even a single split second, leaving the gorgeous girl completely fascinated by him. See, earlier he claimed he had been trapped in this exact same day for 1,000 years. Sounds like paradise at first, right? Every single morning you just wake up on July 7th, 2020. You can spend all your cash, make wild bets, and commit crimes knowing tomorrow resets everything anyway. But things got incredibly wild when her friend called to cancel because she got back with her ex. Instantly, things got pretty interesting. The girl stared at Wu Chen in total disbelief. Was this guy actually telling the truth? She still could not fully accept it, but she found a clever way to verify his story. Approaching the luxury vehicle just as Wu Chen was about to leave, she pointed out the car belonged to someone else, so he must have stolen it. Wu Chen simply replied, "Tomorrow none of this will be my problem," so she playfully suggested that he wouldn't mind giving a drop-dead gorgeous girl a ride tonight. But Wu Chen is an absolute legend. He coldly told her that any girl hiding under that much plaster was too ugly for his tastes. Furious but incredibly stubborn, she did not walk away. Instead, she wiped her face, revealing an absolute miracle. She was drop-dead gorgeous even without any cosmetics, but Wu Chen casually rated her a 9 out of 10, letting her hop inside to enjoy their spacious double bed. Though she tried playing it completely cool, she immediately got in and they headed off to a local hotel. Early the next morning, Wu Chen opened his eyes, expecting to restart his endless 1,000-year time loop, but he suddenly got the biggest shock of his entire life. The girl was still sleeping peacefully right beside him. She demanded answers because it was now July 8th, making her believe everything he said was a scam. Wu Chen sat there, completely losing all hope of escaping his eternal prison. But now the endless cycle was actually over. The girl followed him, demanding to know what kind of guy cowers in the bathroom like this, and demanded a clear explanation. Staring at the shower, he realized everything had changed. It is no dream. Time is finally moving forward again, and he feels liberated from that bizarre loop of time and space. Raising his arms high, he shouts that he is finally here. Just like that, a system alert appears right in front of him. Could this be a cheat? His physical stats are basic, but his mental power, absolutely massive. Confronted with this, he starts pondering the absolute power of infinite time resets. The system confirms it, but warning, every repeat reset in a day costs more. This ordinary college kid now possesses over 1,000 maxed out, god-tier skills. Each skill is proof of the 1,000 years he spent locked away. With time running normally, he can finally show the world what he can do. Close by, the woman watches him. She is completely convinced he went crazy. She slowly creeps closer, cautiously asking him if he is really okay. Wu Chen just grins. This is his best day in 1,000 years. She begs him to stop speaking nonsense. Suddenly, heavy banging on the door cuts them off alongside loud threats about a stolen car. She walks over quietly, taking a careful look through the peephole. A man outside yells to open up or he will smash it down. She spins on Wu Chen, accusing him of stealing a car. He just shrugs. He did not know today would count. Plus, he took Wang Zhangyuan's ride. She panics. Wang Zhangyuan is a terrifying underworld kingpin who crushed all his rivals. After his family was attacked, he went to prison and grew into a monster. He survived prison, eventually rising up to build an absolute empire in East China. So yeah, Wu Chen just signed his own death warrant by crossing him. Yet Wu Chen just smiles. To him, this is barely a minor speed bump. He even compares it to using Liang's name to cause a bloodbath. Completely baffled, the woman asks what he actually intends to do next. His answer is simple. Wu Chen is going to reset the day. He casually requests a complete time jump from the system. The machine initiates the process. Watch this, the universe rewinds instantly. Back to July 8, 2020, the exact moment she demands answers. He blinks, realizing the rewind worked. She is still yelling at him. She demands to know what is going on right this second. Cut the talk, Wu Chen interrupts. There is no time to explain. There is no time for explanations. She needs to just get dressed. Annoyed, she calls him irresponsible, thinking he is trying to run away. He just sighs, calmly explaining that he stole Wang Zhangyuan's car. She freezes. A normal person like her cannot cross a mafia boss. She scoffs, asking him if he even has any clue who she really is. If he did, he would be begging her for protection right now. Wu Chen leans in close, asking if he should beg like she did last night. Furious, she shoves him away, calling him a bastard and promising his death. He sighs, fake apologizing before noting he knows a fix for this. She demands to know what kind of person could save them. Wu Chen just grins. It is a woman with a very big heart. Right then, cars chase the boss's vehicle at breakneck speeds through the city. One of the thugs points a gun and threatens to kill him if he doesn't pull over. His passenger warns that they are armed, but Wu Chen thinks that just makes it fun. She screams that he is insane, but he replies that stopping means death. Behind them, the goons receive orders to capture the thief and retrieve the boss's car. Meanwhile, Li Robing answers an unknown call. It is Wu Chen. He warns her that a traitor on her team is going to make her lose her bet. He refuses to reveal his name, but offers valuable intel about her brother. Wu Chen suggests meeting in half an hour, but Li Robing demands to know his name. Suddenly, they end up completely surrounded, and his passenger screams out in panic. Trapped, not even close, he calmly tells his passenger to just sit back and watch. He pulls off an insane drift, shocking one of the goons while the angry boss snaps. The boss yells to stop praising the guy and capture them on the highway. She screams for help, but Wu Chen simply announces they have arrived at her house. The woman stares at him in absolute silence as he parks right outside her gate. Dumbfounded, she demands to know how he could possibly find out where she lives. But she drops it, guessing he will just joke about living for 1,000 years. She praises his crazy driving skills, asking where he managed to learn them. Wu Chen replies that he had to die many times to master the technique. He warns her not to copy him, reminding her that she only has one life. She tells him to stop lying and warns him not to expect any phone calls. Once he leaves, she calls him a bastard, realizing he tricked her all night long. She suspects a close friend set this whole thing up and resolves to confront her. But here is the catch. Li Robing is a powerful businesswoman in Donghai. She has a deeply complicated past, and her brother is a truly dangerous man. He is capable of bringing down all of East China, and Wu Chen knows her well. Inside her executive office, an assistant announces that Wu Chen has arrived. Li Robing immediately dismisses her subordinate, telling him that he is free to go. She reads his files aloud, mentioning his sister, Wu Jiao. Wu Chen congratulates her for finding so much personal info from just a phone number. Ripping up the report, she tells him he seems completely average on paper. But she knows a totally average guy wouldn't know anything about her secret bet. Standing up, she demands to know who he really is as Wu Chen steps forward. He offers to trade the traitor's identity for 10 million. She laughs at the sheer absurdity of making a massive deal with a complete stranger. Asking if he really thinks she would agree, she suddenly points a gun right at him. Li Robing demands an explanation, warning that he won't leave this office alive. He knows she would shoot, but he holds up her gun's empty magazine, asking how. Dumbfounded, Li Robing checks her weapon and finds the magazine completely gone. She cannot believe he disarmed her when the gun was kept hidden under the table. Then she remembers the brief moment he casually leaned over her desk. Smiling, Wu Chen introduces himself as nothing more than a very practical businessman. He claims that swiping her magazine was just a demonstration of his professional skills. He urges her to trust his connections, repeating that he is only doing this for money. He needed a realistic excuse, and using money perfectly lowers her guard. Sitting down, she stares at him coldly, challenging him to prove his worth. He decides to reveal what else he knows, explaining that she is actually the eldest daughter of the powerful Li family, constantly fighting to prove her worth but never escaping. Her brother's massive shadow, Wu Chen continues, explaining how she resisted the arranged marriage with Ding Ruolong because she was deeply concerned for her mother. Her 3 fake boyfriends all met tragic ends, thanks to a dirty trick by Ding Ruolong to keep her isolated from other men. To escape this trap, she and Ding Ruolong made a secret bet on who could build the biggest business in 5 years. However, she has absolutely no clue that a spy is already lurking right beside her, ready to ruin everything on launch day. Wu Chen then asks if she needs him to keep speaking. Li Ruoping immediately stands up and demands to know who the traitor is. Calmly, Wu Chen tells her he will reveal the name. Right then, a man walks straight into the meeting room. Senior assistant Feng Yan approaches and asks Li Ruoping to sign a document. Wu Chen points him out as the traitor and slams his head onto the table. Then he demands answers about $5 million deposited into a Swiss bank account, but the assistant denies everything without backing down. Wu Chen pins him hard against the wood, asking if he really wants to stay. Silent, Li Ruoping notices Feng Yan's cell phone is receiving a call from Ding Ruolong. She confronts him directly. She never imagined she would be sold for only $5 million. The traitor falls to his knees, admitting he took the cash in. Begging to tell her something crucial, Wu Chen quickly warns her not to believe a word, pointing out that Ding Ruolong knows her mother is her weak spot. Then he tells her to decide his fate. She coldly dismisses the man, telling him to never show his face again. As he runs out, he repeatedly thanks her. Wu Chen remarks that he honestly expected her to kill him. She calmly replies that by nightfall, the man will be at the bottom of a river, encased in cement. Still, Li Ruoping remains highly suspicious of him. She suspects Ding Ruolong sent him to gain her trust. Wu Chen admits it looks pretty suspicious, but claims he has a solid way to clear up all her doubts. Hearing this, Li Ruoping asks what that way is. Simply put, he proposes becoming her hired boyfriend. He explains that Ding Ruolong cares far too much about his public image, and having a partner is the perfect shield to keep him away. Li Ruoping warns him that her last 3 fake boyfriends were completely destroyed by Ding Ruolong. Fully aware, he argues that for a man trying to make it big, relationship with her makes life a whole lot more interesting. She admits that he is incredibly brave and different, but still wonders if he is genuinely fearless. With a gun pointed straight at his own head, he replies that he has nothing to fear, knowing she would only pull the trigger if she actually wanted him dead. Impressed, she admits she really likes his style. Li Ruoping walks closer, saying that every real couple needs to have an intimate photo. The two immediately take a selfie together on her phone. From that day on, he officially becomes her boyfriend and personal assistant, leading her to finally grill him about her brother. Wu Chen reveals that her brother runs the East China Sea Crown, one of the country's biggest entertainment hotspots. She points out that everyone already knows that, but he quickly adds that the club has been under secret investigation for 3 months. According to his private information, their entire network is about to collapse, be shut down within a single month. Li Ruoping demands to know exactly what he meant by that. He explains that the trouble does not just involve her brother but the entire Li family, who might have to cut ties with him. Wu Chen simply tells her not to ask any more questions. Later that night, the scene shifts directly to the East China Sea Crown Entertainment Club. One of the henchmen starts reporting everything that went down to the boss, Wang Jiangyuan. Li Ruotai's right-hand man loses his temper when he hears that some young punk beat up his men while using the boss's name. The left-hand man, Zio Wazi, finds it bizarre that this kid knew about the rally and had his personal number. Fuming, Li Ruotai orders his crew to hunt him down. He wants to kill the guy himself. Right then, Li Ruoping walks straight into the room, catching everyone By surprise, she walks toward her brother, who tells everyone to put out their cigarettes because she cannot stand the smoke. Reliving announces that she has brought someone to meet them, pointing directly at Wu Chen. The kid tosses the car keys over, casually explaining he only borrowed the ride yesterday. Wang Jiangyuan instantly recognizes him as the arrogant punk who dropped the boss's name. Being the favored eldest grandson, Li Ruitai's combat strength is comparable to Ding Ruolong's, but Reliving practically raised and protected him, which means he both deeply respects and fears her. Li Ruitai points at the newcomer and demands to know who he is. She merely twists his ear and introduces Wu Chen as his brand new brother-in-law. The gangsters exchange completely stunned glances. Wondering if this is real, Li Ruitai asks if his sister is pulling another fake boyfriend stunt, demanding a reason to accept someone so unremarkable. Reliving plays along, apologizing and claiming she has been under the weather. Then she quietly shifts all the blame onto him. Wu Chen mutters to her, questioning why she is playing this game. Is she worried Ding Ruolong is going to end him? She claims she is not afraid at all, but her voice falters right at the end of the sentence. He casually points out that her brother looks utterly shell-shocked. Now watch this. Li Ruitai suddenly blurts out, is she pregnant with this guy's kid? He then stares at Wu Chen. Sure, the kid looks decent, but he is hardly a masterpiece. On top of that, he wonders why his sister, who usually goes for mature guys, is suddenly dating a kid barely in his 20s. There's got to be a catch. He starts suspecting Wu Chen of being a sweet-talking scammer. Convincing himself he vows to protect his sister from this absolute fraud, he immediately demands to know how they even met. Wu Chen smoothly lies. They crossed paths 3 months ago while she was scouting university interns. Reliving is completely shocked on the inside, wondering how on earth he knows that, since it is actually true. Her brother then pressures her about only knowing him for 3 short months, demanding to know if she really trusts the guy. He then accuses Wu Chen of flirting with another girl at the Lotus Bar yesterday. Wu Chen calmly clarifies that the woman was actually Mu Jianqian, the daughter of the massive East China Mu biomedical group tycoon. He adds that Li Ruitai should actually be thanking him for stopping Liu Hui from touching her. The Mu group is a titan, if the East China faction is a mere snake compared to that grand dragon. Even if they manage to somehow survive a clash with the Mu group, the price would be an extremely high price, and Liu Tai finally understands how grave things are. He actually thanks him, even calling him brother, but Li Ruibing speaks up, saying she never expected to see her brother utterly crushed by Wu Chen, but she cuts him off. There is a much bigger problem. Higher-ups want to shut down the Crown Club, making him scream that it is impossible. He handled everything himself, so he would definitely know if that were true, but Wu Chen warns him he should have never used those videos to blackmail those people. And his dealings with Z should have been shut down long ago. His sister, she immediately confronts him for still keeping in touch with Z while he tries to calm things down. To explain, Wu Chen reveals that Z already betrayed him, pinning all the blame right on him. Furious, Liu Tai demands to know how Wu Chen found out when even his own sister was kept in the dark. Wu Chen coolly replies that he has nothing to prove. To him, he is only here for her, helping him solely to keep her from getting hurt. Pointing an angry finger, Liu Tai threatens that Wu Chen will not leave this room alive without a proper explanation. Li Ruibing desperately tries to calm her brother down so Wu Chen can actually finish speaking, but he refuses to believe these obvious lies. Finally, Wu Chen reveals that 4 months ago, Liao Bo was transferred directly to the police department to take charge of the club's investigation. He explains that undercover cops posed as regular customers, gathering massive amounts of evidence. And watch how fast the game changes as he hands over that list of undercover agents. Panicked, Liu Tai instantly orders his men to warn everyone and grab their weapons. Right after, he barks orders at his man to take his thugs and hunt down every single name on that list. He makes it absolutely clear that if this intel is wrong, they will pay dearly for it. Meanwhile, lounging on the sofa, Wu Chen simply asks him how much money he is willing to spend. Liu Tai stares at a hidden camera, then suddenly slams the device hard against the table, screaming to capture everyone on that list immediately, but Wu Chen warns him if even a single target slips away, the police will raid them with solid casino evidence. Losing his mind, Liu Tai slams his fist down, demanding to know what to do. Wu Chen asks if he wants to rot in jail or walk away clean, leaving him. Desperately begging for a way out, Wu Chen simply tells him to instruct his goons to hold their fire. Liu Tai turns back, asking what their next move is. The young man tells him to just apologize, and he will handle everything else. Liu Tai realizes he has to show some respect. Wu Chen is clearly a major player. Li Ruobing pleads with Wu Chen to help them, reminding him that they are family. But Wu Chen points out that her stubborn brother clearly does not agree. Hearing this, Liu Tai forcedly laughs, assuring him that they are absolutely on the same side. He apologizes, claiming he was only worried that Wu Chen was playing his sister. But the young man doubts his sincerity. Still, solely for her sake, Wu Chen agrees to help out. First, he cold-bloodedly advises that Xiaohu needs to be silenced. He simply knows too much. Xiaohu used to head over to Village 17 to get high with his lover, meaning an overdose would easily keep the cops off their trail. Liu Tai nods. He finds the plan absolute genius. Second, all the evidence is held by Liao Bo, so they just need to steal and destroy it. Liu Tai agrees completely, promising to hunt him down himself, but Wu Chen stops him. He calls it crazy, explaining that Liao is far too important to simply capture. Next, he reveals the exact location of a hidden safe, including the password. Since it is a secret mission, they only need to steal and destroy the evidence. Li Ruotai is completely stunned by the detail. It gets even crazier when he hears the safe's actual password. Wu Chen insists that the elder must hear everything, especially about the deals. These secret dealings with Shahu are dangerous, especially with the rival Wei family involved. The Li and Wei families have been at war for years, forcing Master Lei to ally with the Ding family. Wu Chen warns the Wei family will strike. They will take absolutely any chance to destroy the Li family, and the elder must know. Li Ruotai agrees, promising to handle it. Then Wu Chen suggests the final step. Burn down the Crown Club, but his brother immediately questions the insane move. Wu Chen explains a minor media report about a fire justifies closing it down. That way, they shut the doors without raising any suspicion. If they execute these 4 steps, everything is set. Li Ruobing grabs her brother's arm, making sure he understands, and he quickly reassures her. Just then, Li Ruotai gets a call. He just lost 2 billion. He announces he is on his way, telling his sister there's trouble. He heads for the casino, but Wu Chen already knows who is behind this. It is Shen Guangjun, leaving Li Ruotai wondering how he has this intel. Inside the casino, the dealer shakes the cup, shouting out to the players. Shen Guangjun arrived yesterday, bringing some of the absolute best pros from Macau. He is determined to get revenge, but Wu Chen knows how casinos work. No matter who you are, the house always finds a way to screw you. It is a business built entirely on deception and stealing your money. After losing hundreds of millions, Shen Guangjun finally realized the truth. He found out that countless other wealthy high rollers had been cheated too. So he took that dirt straight to the Wei family to team up. They want to crush the Li family. Normally, he would never dare. But now he knows they are done. Li Ruotai vows he won't survive. Nobody messes with him and lives as they walk through the floor. Wu Chen advises him to stay cool. Do not let them see you sweat. At the table, the house player concedes. Shen Guangjun gathers his chips. He celebrates, shouting that he is rich, while bystanders offer their congratulations. As the group approaches, he brags about his massive win, but there is more. Li Ruotai simply replies that the Li family can easily afford this pocket change. Shen Guangjun sneers, mocking that all of their top pros just failed. Apparently, Li Ruotai has no real talent left. That is when Wu Chen sits. He calmly disagrees, shuffling the deck with mind-blowing speed and absolute precision. Shuffling like a master, he invites Shen Guangjun to play 2 rounds. Shen Guangjun just laughs, asking why they let a complete novice play. He mocks Mr. Li, pointing out his side already lost 200 million. Yet they still want to play. A bystander wonders if Wu Chen is actually skilled. Even Li Ruobing has to admit she is not entirely sure about him. Across the table, the opponent smiles, explaining that true masters read their enemy. Understanding psychology like this is something a young guy should have 0 experience with. Wu Chen calmly claims he can read the man's cards just by watching his face. Li Ruobing approaches the young man, nervously asking if he is truly ready for this. But he reassures her that he can easily crush any casino on the planet. Right then, the opponent realizes Wu Chen is betting without looking at his hand. He wonders if this is just some weird habit of the kid's. Then Wu Chen flips his card to reveal the ace of spades. The opponent immediately folds, admitting that Wu Chen has the stronger hand. Chips hit the table as a massive $500,000 bet is called. The opponent calmly adjusts his glasses and matches the bet without hesitation. The dealer slides new cards across the table and calls for the next round of bets. She turns to another player, who immediately decides to fold his hand. The rounds advance with constant $500,000 bets and alternating folds. Wu Chen confidently declares that he has indeed won yet again. An observer whispers to Shen Guangjun that the kid is running out of luck. But Shen Guangjun just chuckles, knowing the boy is walking right into a trap. Flashbacks reveal the opponent's strategy, losing on purpose to study his prey. He purposefully throws rounds just to analyze how his opponent likes to play. Shen Guangjun smiles, knowing everything in this casino is under his control. Another bystander whispers that Lirai Tai has already lost over 200 million. With that much on the line, walking away is no longer an option. By the 30th round, the dealer calls for bets, and Wu Chen immediately drops 1 million. The opponent notices he did it without even glancing at his hand. He still calls, only for Wu Chen to challenge him to bet another million. Eventually, the opponent reveals a terrible hand, giving Wu Chen the win. Wu Chen holds a pair of kings, securing an incredibly easy victory. Feeling the pressure, the opponent suddenly decides to go all in. Wu Chen realizes that based on the board, his brother-in-law has the advantage. But since the outcome is still up in the air, he makes a bold move. Wu Chen calmly declares that he is going all in as well. The opponent smiles and suggests adding another 100 million to the pot. But Wu Chen scoffs, pushing for a massive $200 million raise. Two women arrive, carrying stacks of fresh chips to the table. Wu Chen raises by another 100 million, daring his opponent to call. The opponent watches closely, noticing Wu Chen only touches his face-down card when it matters. He calculates that the hidden card must be an absolute powerhouse. Convinced it is an ace, he folds and tells Wu Chen he was too greedy. He laughs, saying the kid just missed out on 50 million. Li Rubbing assumes the card was indeed an ace, but Wu Chen shakes his head. He slowly flips the card over, revealing a measly 2 of hearts. Absolutely furious, the opponent accuses the young man of dirty bluffs. But Wu Chen simply replies that he just lacked the guts to play. He's managed to completely dissect yet another one of the man's habits. The next card dealt face-up on the table is a 9 of diamonds. The opponent realizes that without the 9 of spades, he is utterly doomed. Impossible, Shen Guangjun confirms the main point was that there was absolutely no peeking. Fully convinced, the smug opponent decides that his perfect moment has finally arrived. The net is closed, that is his bold claim before proposing one final hand. This game decides the winner, betting 200 million, and Wu Chen calmly accepts the challenge. Li Rubbing quickly questions if wagering over 200 million is just too risky. But the young man beside her assures her that everything is perfectly under control. Shen Guangjun notices that the player under his command is practically radiating confidence. Next, the cocky opponent slides all his chips directly into the center. He reminds Wu Chen that the absolute most important thing in gambling is staying calm. If you cannot control your own mind, you will never survive this game. A sudden reveal, right on the table, it is a 9 of diamonds. He boldly declares that the 200 million already belongs to him. Pure chaos erupts, his entire crew celebrates, convinced the game is finally over. Gloating over the easy win, Shen Guangjun immediately turns to provoke Mr. Lei. He asks if a powerful man would really care about losing such a tiny amount. Meanwhile, Wu Chen simply tells Li Rubbing to check the card with her own eyes. Wait for it, the card flips over to reveal a 9 of spades. Stunned, the opponent demands to know exactly how and when he read the cards. But Wu Chen only offers a cool smile and a simple question in response. Did you honestly believe that nobody was watching your every move? Wu Chen asks. He reveals that he mapped out every card starting from the very first round. He was a decent player, but far too arrogant to ever decode my style. With a cold look, he leaves them with a chilling question. Were those supposed flaws actually mistakes, or were they just carefully calculated traps? Wu Chen asks if they really thought they were running the game. The The truth is, he had been pulling the strings the whole time. Then he reminds Shen Guangjun that all his betting money was borrowed on credit. No excuses, he tries to stammer a defense but gets cut off immediately. They try to take the conversation outside, but Wu Chen blocks their path. He coldly demands to know exactly where they think they are going. Shen Guangjun snaps back, asking if he is not even allowed to leave. Complaining about bad manners, he watches as his companion questions Wu Chen. Wu Chen promises to explain soon, asking them to lend him a knife. A deadly weapon, he takes the knife, calmly showing off its sharp edge. With a lightning-fast grip, he forcefully grabs the opponent's arm right there. Talk about a major twist, an ace of spades slips right out of his sleeve. Wu Chen admits he spotted the trick early, but waited for his win. Hearing this, the man who lent the knife explodes in absolute fury. Roaring with anger, he demands to know who dared cheat under his nose. Turning on his own man, he furiously demands a proper explanation. The player stammers, claiming it is just a massive misunderstanding, but Wu Chen grabs him. Grabbing him from behind, Wu Chen slams his body hard against the table. Pressing his hand flat against the wood, he asks if he knows the rules. No hesitation, he declares that the cheater must now pay the ultimate price. Standing triumphantly over the defeated cheater, Wu Chen glares coldly at Shen Guangjun. He confronts Guangjun, demanding to know what he has to say. The reply is just a flat denial. He insists he had no part in it, claiming the cheating was entirely the other guy's. With that, he tosses the knife back and orders him to clean up the mess since they are already heading out. Before leaving, though, he drops a final warning: do not even try to touch them inside this club. As they walk, Li Robing asks if he felt good about stabbing that guy's hand. He instantly says no. Now she is curious. She questions his cold reaction, so he turns and asks her how she would feel about cutting her own hand instead. Later in the car, Li Robing admits she didn't expect him to be such a skilled player. Wu Chen smiles and thanks her for the compliment, but quickly reminds her not to forget his payment. She playfully groans that he only ever thinks about money, but then things suddenly take a serious turn. Wu Chen leans back calmly and tells her that a car has been tailing them. Meanwhile, in the vehicle behind them, the driver tells his boss that they are also being followed by someone else. Hearing this, Li Robing immediately orders him to lose the tail. She figures that creep Ding Ruolong is still sending his goons to watch her. But Wu Chen shakes his head. No, it is not him. He points out that those guys aren't even targeting her. Then, he gently places his hand over hers, telling her not to worry because he is going to handle everything himself. Li Robing smiles, noting that he must be pretty hungry by now. She promises him a special treat today. Soon, they arrive at the restaurant. Wu Chen asks if she is worried people might see him as a competitor. Since she is so well known around here, she answers without a second thought, saying she actually wants everyone to know him. Just then, an elegant man approaches, greeting Li Robing and asking if she came to grab a bite. She nods, explaining that her boyfriend was craving Cantonese food, which is why they stopped by. Then she introduces Wu Chen to Han Deli from the prestigious Long Chung Innovation Group. He welcomes him warmly, saying it is a pleasure and that he perfectly suits her. Wu Chen politely thanks him for the kind words as Han Deli apologizes for interrupting their meal. He explains his client has just arrived, so he must go. Once he leaves, Li Robing notes that Han Deli is actually a decent man, serving as a major official for the East China Sea Chamber. Wu Chen simply replies he does not need introductions, knowing the man far better than she thinks. She smiles, calling him one of the most brilliant businessmen around. Wu Chen then remarks that not everyone wants to be her friend. Li Robing fully agrees. Admitting she has many rivals, especially women, she adds that it is pretty foolish to make an enemy of her. Wu Chen nods just as a sharp voice cuts in, calling out to Li Robing. A glamorous blonde woman approaches, asking since when she started keeping a boyfriend. Wu Chen observes her, instantly recognizing a bitter business rival. This newcomer, Lu Kaixia, immediately takes a jab at the age gap between them, trying to get under Li Robing's skin by mentioning the massive age difference between the two. Annoyed, Li Robing tells her to stop, warning that she will only let it slide as a joke out of respect for Lu Lan. Yet the teasing continues as she mockingly asks if she still actually cares about public opinion. Angered, Li Robing stands up and snaps to stop, but Wu Chen gently holds her hand. He steps in right before any drinks can fly, calmly telling everyone to stay cool. He promises to handle this, standing up to confront Liu Kaisha directly. She glares right back, demanding to know why he is staring like that. Wu Chen calmly answers that it is nothing, though she looks incredibly familiar to him. He pretends to recall her face, asking if she ever worked at nightclubs. Liu Kaisha immediately accuses him of slander, asking if he knows who she is. Wu Chen says surgery cannot erase her past. Completely stunned, she wonders how this guy knows all about her secret nightclub past and surgeries. That happened 10 years ago, leaving Li Rubbing deeply impressed. Wu Chen laughs, saying it is far too early for admiration. The best part is yet to come, and right then, an angry man approaches them. He demands to know what the commotion is, and she begs for revenge. Claiming she was deeply insulted, the man promises to settle the score. Turning his angry glare to Li Rubbing, he demands to know who this man is. She introduces him as her boyfriend, Wu Chen, causing the man to sneer. He declares that insulting his wife is a direct offense that requires payback. But Wu Chen remains entirely calm, stating that someone else will handle this mess. Lu Guanyin scoffs, asking if he really thinks Li Rubbing protects him here. He warns the young man that hiding behind her family won't save him. But Wu Chen calmly clarifies that he isn't talking about relying on her at all. He drops the name Manhwa, leaving the wealthy husband completely frozen in shock. Terrified, the man demands to know how he knows that secret underworld name. Pulling the terrified man to a quiet corner, Wu Chen offers to tell 2 stories. The first concerns Liu Luan, who sought quick money in nightclubs 10 years ago. There, she met a wealthy demolition boss who had recently been injured in battle. A private doctor told the wealthy boss that he could never have children in future. Drunk, the wealthy client spilled his secret, and she overheard everything. Hearing this, Liu Luan immediately devised an incredibly dark and greedy plan. She got extensive plastic surgery, changed her name to Liu Kaisha, and became his lover. 3 months later, she successfully faked a pregnancy and birthed a baby boy. But Wu Chen reveals the kid actually belonged to her secret side lover. Together, they bribed a corrupt doctor to completely fake all the paternity test results. Lu Guanyin surely noticed the boy looked nothing like him, but chose ignorance. He desperately wanted a son, so he forced himself to believe the lie. Now the final part of her plan is to stage an accident and steal his billions. Staggering back, Lu Guanyin refuses to believe such a wild accusation without proof. Wu Chen smiles, asking him about his wife's handsome cousin at the company. He reveals that this so-called cousin is actually her secret lover and active accomplice. Yesterday afternoon, your beloved wife left with her lover to hook up. They used the emergency stairs to avoid the security cameras and slip out undetected. Wu Chen suggests checking the security footage or simply questioning her directly. To get a full confession, however, he must trick her into slipping up. Soon after, the shaken husband walks back over and calls her name. He calmly asks her if she and her cousin were actually at the office yesterday. When she confidently lies, he drops the clever trap Wu Chen laid out. Faced with this, Caillou stammers he is mistaken, but without hesitation, Lu Guanyuan offers to call and confirm. Right then, Caillou instantly changes her tune, turning to question him on why he did not defend her from the insults. Furious, Lu Guanyuan slaps her hard across the face, shouting, "Does she think he knows absolutely nothing about her secret affair?" He orders her out. As she walks off, his warning follows: he will settle scores. Later, turning to the couple, Lu Guanyuan apologizes deeply for the mess. Li Ruobing assures him their lips are sealed, but the husband sighs. He only wanted a child. He never expected such a betrayal. Lu Guanyuan quietly admits he had fully accepted his childless fate long ago, but Wu Chen cuts in, revealing he actually has an incredible son. The older man is stunned, demanding to know what he means. Wu Chen tells him a second story remains, a tale about childhood sweethearts who once believed they would absolutely spend their entire lives together. But once the man struck it rich, he turned his back on her. He ran off with a mistress and the cash, completely blind to her pregnancy. She cut ties with everyone, gave birth to a baby boy, and raised him all alone, claiming his father was dead. That boy grew up to build a highly successful life and his own family. Lu Guanyuan asks for his name. Wu Chen reveals it is Mei, named after the mother. When asked if she ever remarried, Wu Chen explains she never did. She lost all trust. Now she lives in Donghai, knowing he became wealthy, yet she never sought him out, still carrying deep pain. Wu Chen hands him her address. The rest is up to him. To see if forgiveness is possible, Lu Guanyuan walks off, promising that if he reconciles with her, he will owe him big. Li Ruobing chuckles. That he truly owes him now. Wu Chen agrees that favor will be useful. Later, saying goodbye to Li Ruobing, he steps out of her car and tells her he will see her tomorrow, but she suddenly calls him back. She has something important to share. He leans back in, asking what it is about. Without a word, she grabs his jacket and kisses him. Fiercely, she explains that since Ding Long loves spying on her, she will make him miserable. He asks if it was her first kiss, but she counters, asking if his intelligence tracked that too. He complains her rough technique actually hurt his mouth, then walks away into the night. The focus shifts to a quiet apartment building. Inside, a hungry girl complains about dinner, but her friend insists they must wait for the pervert to arrive. Wu Ziyao sighs, wishing she had handled things differently herself, but her friend claims she was brainwashed, guaranteeing that he will not get away so easily. The girl wonders how he knew everything about her private life when nobody had whispered a word. Her friend denies sharing anything, focusing instead on teaching that creep a lesson once and for all. Meanwhile, the long-haired girl in the hallway explains she only wanted details and never expected such a wild reaction from them. They chat as Wu Chen quietly appears right behind them. One of them spots him and points him out. He just turns around with a smile. He happily confirms he is there, but the young woman immediately starts calling him horrible. She screams that he betrayed her, but he snaps back, asking why she sought him out. Right away, her friend steps in front of her, ordering Wu Chen to stay away. He casually says he is opening the door, completely ignoring the short-haired girl. Outraged, she lunges forward to attack, but her friend quickly yells for her to stop. Right then, Wu Chen drops a bomb about who is actually betraying Zaiwei. Stunned, she listens as he explains that 4 days ago, her boyfriend met his mistress. Apparently, he only came looking for her after running completely out of cash. Shocked, she asks if it is true, and Wu Chen dares her to call him. Annoyed, she makes the call to prove him wrong, trusting her own judgment of men. Once the call connects, she demands to know exactly where he is right now. He immediately tries to deflect, claiming he just left some cash back at the apartment. Realizing the bitter truth, she snaps and rushes out, completely ready to murder him. As her friend tries to follow, Wu Chen scoops Zaiwei up and brings her inside. She asks why he carried her. He says princesses should not get tired. But she keeps insisting she can walk perfectly fine on her own, demanding to be let down. Naturally, he completely ignores her complaints, carrying her straight inside while she struggles and demands to be released. The next morning, Wu Chen sits quietly on the edge of the bed, tying his shoes. He asks why she is still in bed, and she grumbles about him ruining her sleep. Smiling, he hands her his phone number, telling her to call next time instead of waiting. Later, as he drives away, a masked man watches him closely from inside a nearby car. Noticing nothing, Wu Chen makes a quick call, telling someone to meet him at the training ground. Once there, he starts training intensely, pushing himself to the absolute limit. He needs to polish his skills quickly, especially after offending the powerful Dingong. Suddenly, he stops his workout and announces that their expected guest has finally arrived. This guest, Wang Zhongyuan, used to be a mere figurehead before building his massive empire. With help from Li Tai, he quickly became the youngest of the area's 4 major bosses. Together, these 4 powerhouses control 90% of the entire entertainment industry. Wang Zhongyuan walks up, trying to explain that the tale was only meant to ensure his safety. But Wu Chen points out that Li Tai has no idea he is being followed. He also issues a stern warning, reminding him of how fiercely protective Li Tai is, especially when it comes to his sister, who is completely off-limits to everyone. Still, Wu Chen reassures him, if he wanted to expose him, they wouldn't be meeting here. Sensing a trap, Wang Zhongyuan straight up asks what he actually wants from this arrangement. Wu Chen replies that he simply wants to be friends, as even bosses need backup sometimes. Boss readily agrees, telling him never to hesitate if he ever needs any favors. Wu Chen notes that things will be much easier since he lacks manpower despite having great info. Right at that moment, Wang Zhongyuan receives an urgent phone call, and his expression instantly shifts. He listens to the bad news and replies that he is already on his way. Before rushing off, Wang Zhongyuan offers Wu Chen his car and some fresh clothes as an apology. He insists that Wu Chen use them for transportation in the future. Wu Chen accepts the generous offer without a second thought, watching him leave. Meanwhile, inside a busy office, a woman on the phone sighs that they have no openings left. Li Rong quickly hangs up, frustrated to learn that her client will not show. She manages to reach the press conference just as Wu Chen arrives. The moment he enters, he asks if something happened. She explains that their new spokesperson just suffered a terrible car accident right after uncovering Ding Rulong's secret plans. Schemes, Wu Chen immediately points out this is no coincidence. Fuming, Li Rubing points out how Ding Rulong broke their bet by using his massive family influence. Hearing this, Wu Chen offers to find her replacement. Spokesperson, she asks if he already found someone since they need one urgently. He simply pulls out his phone, showing a superstar's photo, and asks if she considers this actress qualified. Li Rubing sighs, a massive star-like. Tao Menying would never work with us, let alone represent our new product. She appreciates that he wants to help, but warns him to stop dreaming. Cut the bluffing, she says, but Wu Chen only grins. Let's make a bet, he suggests, wagering he can get Tao Menying into her office tomorrow morning to sign the deal. After all, Tao Menying is a top-tier global superstar, reaching massive heights after starring in The Sword and Autumn Water. Ever since, she has been one of the highest-paid actresses around. So Li Rubing highly doubts he can pull this off by tomorrow morning. The actress is currently filming overseas. Since she still doubts him, Wu Chen proposes another bet. Frustrated, she asks what he wants in order to finally leave her alone. He bets he can bring Tao Menying to her office tomorrow, or pay her 20 million. But if he wins, she must match that 20 million as a sponsorship fee. On top of that, he demands she cannot act jealous if he actually wins. She scoffs at this, questioning why she would care since they are only pretending. Li Rubing declares he can date anyone he wants, as she has zero interest in interfering. Hearing this, Wu Chen asks for 20 million to be wired to start the process. Once the money hits his account, he immediately walks away to make a call. He pulls a few strings behind the scenes, and Li Rubing officially agrees to the deal. Meanwhile, in another office, a subordinate informs Wu Chen that the coast is clear. Wang Xinyuan introduces a group of pro gamers, eager to hear the plan. He asks what Wu Chen needs them for. Smiling, Wu Chen lays out their mission. He tells them to boot up their computers and launch the latest server of Legendary City Lord. He orders them to register new accounts immediately. They must join Server 3, which launched yesterday at 5, and use a specific prefix in their names, King of Hegemony. Once inside, they will wait for his signal. They gather in the beginner zone, while Wu Chen unloads cash to fund their clan. 4 hours later, a massive raid boss is cornered, hanging on by a thread. The boss is only one strike away from defeat. A player leaps to deliver the final blow, completely amazed by how powerful their new accounts actually feel. The beast falls, and an announcement flashes that the Kings of Hegemony have won. They completed the first dungeon. A rare ring drops, and a player demands a cut. Wang Xinyuan just laughs, explaining how their clan completely dominated the server. They crushed the former #1 guild, Dragon Slayers, in a single day. Wu Chen spent over 8 million to buy high-level gear and accounts. Now only 2 powerhouse guilds remain on the server, locked in endless war. Phase 1 complete, Wu Chen declares the next stage is beginning. Part of the plan, a sudden alert from leader Tatsu flashes across every member's screen. The war for the city is on, and the King of Hegemony clan must mobilize. It is finally time to face the dreaded Dragon Slayers. Tatsu orders his entire army to gather in the main square for the final clash. One confused player approaches, stunned by the sheer scale of it. He cannot believe the cash spent, calling him a fanboy. The rival guild leader laughs, saying both sides are far too evenly matched right now. With their powers so close, nobody can predict the winner. Wu Chen simply smiles back, quietly promising that the final answer is coming very soon. The rival scoffs, demanding to know how he plans to win. Without hesitation, Wu Chen turns to his own guild mates and commands their full attention. Then he drops a bombshell, ordering his entire guild to strip off all their gear. Next second, he commands everyone to log out of the game right now. And just like that, the avatars begin vanishing one by one. Panicking, the rival begs him not to leave since their duel is not finished yet. Wu Chen slowly walks over, casually admitting it is pretty tough fighting an opponent like him. But the furious rival yells that he spent 10 million on this game. Walking away now means he loses his shot at becoming the boss. Wu Chen simply explains his wife's company is in deep trouble. The rival bursts out laughing, arrogant enough to offer his own help. He boasts about knowing tons of famous actresses and offers to arrange as many as he wants. With extreme smugness, he brags he can even get Taoying with a single call. Wu Chen smiles secretly, the trap just snapped shut. He calmly announces that he has an upcoming business trip to East China. This completely shocks his rival, who had no idea they were from the same region. The opponent desperately tries to stop him, but Wu Chen's avatar vanishes. Back in the real world, he sends a quick text about his wife being in a rush. He warns that the rival better have a backup plan, since he already knows his weak spots. After thanking his loyal guild mates, he quickly sends another message. He schedules a critical meeting over at the Qing Yuan building. Right outside the skyscraper, a man immediately steps forward and recognizes him as Chief Lei. Inside waits Le Cheng, the wealthy second son of the prominent Lei family from Hongfa industry. Upon entering, the mysterious visitor introduces himself simply as Wu Chen. Le Cheng coldly asks if he has any real idea who is standing in front of him. Wu Chen politely notes his massive reputation, prompting Le Cheng to ask about his family. The visitor deflects, asking why he is so paranoid of his own brother. The Hongfa family ranks in the top 10, making internal sibling rivalry incredibly deadly. His older brother, Lei, views anyone contacting Le Cheng as a traitor. Even so, he still desperately wants to know Wu Chen's background. Wu Chen tells him to chill, calmly explaining he does not belong to any elite family. He claims their meeting is pure fate, which only deepens Le Cheng's suspicion. He decides to slowly check if his brother sent him. Even treating him as a simple messenger, he asks about his wife's massive business struggles. He questions why a guy spending so much in-game cash cannot hire a spokesperson. Wu Chen explains that some annoying rival is actively sabotaging their efforts. He never imagined they would actually run over his spokesperson. Le Cheng then asks if Wu Chen spent all his money in the game just to vent his anger. Next, he promises to help find a new spokesperson and asks for the company name, to which Wu Chen replies that they produce cosmetics under the name Symphony Fashion. Upon learning that Wu Chen's wife is Li Ruobing, Le Cheng gasps, laughs, and remarks that he should have mentioned his ties to the Li family, though Wu Chen quickly denies being treated as a real member. Shortly after, he calls Li Ruobing, who immediately asks if he actually wasted her 10 million on mobile games. Relaxing in the bathtub, she says she cannot explain right now and proposes raising the stakes instead, claiming that the loser must kneel down and beg for forgiveness. Le Cheng asks what the two were discussing, absolutely shocked by the thought of Li Ruobing ever kneeling before. Wu Chen, the young man, explains it was nothing serious, she was just being moody, and they ended up making a pretty massive bet. Hearing this, Le Cheng invites him to sit for tea, asking if he would explain the details of this bet. He says someone has been targeting her company, but she still refuses to let him help because she wants to protect him from Ding Rulong. Le Cheng confirms that everyone knows that dangerous name, and Wu Chen adds she fears Ding Rulong will strike him because of her. Right then, he stands up, declaring that Ding Rulong is targeting Li Ruobing, and he refuses to hide away like a coward. Nodding, Le Cheng agrees that he is absolutely right and urges him to press forward. Li Ruobing reveals that their high-stakes bet actually granted him total control over the launch of the company's new product. Wu Chen explains that if the press conference goes smoothly, he wins, but if anything fails, she takes the victory. If he loses, he must obey her completely and live as nothing more than a pretty face. Hearing this, Le Cheng offers to help, pointing out that the problem boils down to securing a spokesperson. He promises to handle the matter right away. Elsewhere, a woman wrapped in a towel hears her phone ring. She answers immediately, calling the voice on the other end father. Le Cheng tells her to drop her vacation and head back to East China for urgent work, promising to cover any financial penalties for breaching her current contract. After hanging up, he shows his phone to Wu Chen, declaring the issue resolved. Everything went smoothly, even though Tao Many's booking fee is incredibly steep. Still, he starts typing a message, refusing to mistreat a friend who risked angering the dangerous Ding family just to back him up. Le Cheng remarks that they were destined to cross paths, telling Wu Chen to call him brother, but the young man hints their shared destiny is deeper than he imagines. Wu Chen then asks him to read the text message he just sent. The message instructs him to track down that number to uncover the truth about the car accident from 10 years ago. Wu Chen warns that they must move quickly because Xiang Xingjun might flee the country at any moment. Le Cheng replies that his lookouts are already alert, but they still need to hurry to stop the escape. On that fateful night 10 years ago, a massive truck intentionally crashed into their car at an intersection. Despite reacting instantly, the vehicle was thrown down the road and quickly exploded into flames. He got lucky and survived, but watched his wife die right before his eyes. During those 3 agonizing months in the ICU, his agent brought some clues. The driver was Xiang Shengjun, who worked for his brother, Lei Yu, before disappearing with the evidence. The proof was lost. For 10 years, he acted like a cynical, wealthy playboy, just waiting for the perfect moment to find Xiang Shengjun and uncover the truth. His security chief confirms the good news. They found him. He is finally located. Lei Cheng is satisfied. Time to head out, promising Wu Chen he owes him big and will grant him any favor. Within 2 days of starting this new life, Wu Chen has already gained 2 sworn brothers, Lu Guanyu and Lei Cheng, but before dealing with them, he has to collect his $20 million and that absolute apology on her knees. He dials her number but gets placed on hold and immediately disconnected. He follows up with a text but decides to just head on home. That is when the red light stops traffic. At that moment, he spots a whole line of luxury cars stopping right next to him. Sitting inside the neighboring luxury ride is none other than Su Qingying. Renowned as the absolute finest beauty in East China, she left a massive impression on him during his previous life, famous for her incredibly gentle nature. Since this meeting is pure coincidence, he figures it is the perfect time to flirt a bit. He gives her a friendly wave, but she coldly rolls up the window. Unbothered, he sends a text telling her she is far more stunning in person than on screen. He sends over a secret code, hoping it coaxes her to start negotiating, but then a sudden reply hits his phone. His brother-in-law, Li Rui, is demandingly asking him to quickly meet up. Li Rui brings him to a massive estate and tells him the property is entirely his, an early wedding gift since his sister is expecting and Wu Chen saved the day yesterday. Next morning, on July 10th, a gorgeous woman strolls up to the corporate reception desk, claiming to have a scheduled meeting with President Li. Asked for her name, she responds simply with Tao. With 0 records found, the receptionist requests a quick moment to check. Meanwhile, inside the corporate boardroom, Li Ruoping is slamming her team for failing to secure any conference talent. 13 long days of nothing. Furious, she scolds her overpaid, lazy team, who fail to deliver. No idea Wu Chen is behind it all. She abruptly answers her ringing phone, snapped and demanding updates, but hearing that Tao Manny is waiting at reception, she instantly commands them to bring her up to the office. Wondering if Wu Chen actually pulled this off, she greets Miss Tao, apologizing for the delay, as the actress praises her and Wu on being a gorgeous power couple. Sitting down, Li Ruobing gets to business and casually asks how she met her husband. Tao confesses she does not know him personally. Her godfather, Lei Cheng, is Wu Chen's brother and sent her. Hearing this, Li Ruobing is stunned. The legendary Lei Cheng from the powerful Han family is Tao Manny's godfather and Wu Chen's brother. Wasting no time, she apologizes and tells her assistant to quickly grab the endorsement contract for immediate signing. The pair happily shake hands, completely confident in their partnership. Once the contract is locked in, Li Ruobing turns a smug look to Wu Chen. It is time to pay up on their bet. She asks how he meeting Lele Cheng. He simply jokes that a magician never reveals his secrets. He says she asks too many questions and stops her from changing topics. Wu Chen demands an apology, prompting her to stand and remove her shoes. She steps forward and solemnly introduces herself once more as Li Ruobing. Kneeling right there on the floor, she apologizes as he offers a hand. Ruobing is told to stand up just as Li Ruodai suddenly bursts inside. He warns that someone is snooping around, prompting Ruobing to ask who it is. The trail apparently leads straight back to the Su family's golden services. Li Ruobing wonders why the elite Su family is suddenly targeting Wu Chen. But he shuts her down. It is absolutely none of her business. She accuses him of playing mysterious just to stir her feelings. He fires back, noting she is far from the prettiest or richest woman around. Where exactly does she get this massive wave of self-confidence from? She instantly assumes he must be constantly surrounded by absolutely stunning women. He confesses he used to have a few, but not these days. Still, he insists prettier women exist, making her demand a specific name. But Wu Chen refuses to fall into her trap and talk personal history. She teases him if he cannot answer, he should not try so hard. Telling him there is no need to try so hard, her warning is cut short. It is the expected call, with Su Qingyi introducing herself on the line. She proposes a meeting, but he casually questions if it is even necessary. Insisting some things require face-to-face talk, she sets up a morning meeting. They plan for Tang Sha Private Club, leaving Li Rubbing deeply curious. He smiles, saying not yet, but maybe in a few days, who knows. Li Rubbing does not know Su Qingyi, but she knows her rumors. Her upbringing is public knowledge, shaped by her father's insanely strict rules. She was kept under severe discipline, with 24-hour bodyguard protection. He wanted to prevent early romance, but then he fell ill. Desperate to see her married, he set impossible standards for her suitors. Any potential husband had to completely marry into the wealthy Su family. Li Rubbing knows the stubborn Su family will never back down from this. And Wu Chen is definitely not the submissive type to accept their terms. She thinks there is zero chance he wins, but she is in for a shock. He grins, asking if she is truly ready to lose to him again. She stands her ground. Wu Chen claims he only needs 3 days. He bets he will win Su Qingyi over, but she offers 30 days. If he loses, he must kneel, but he wonders what her forfeit is. She tells him to name his price, and he promises to decide later. With the wager officially set, she prepares herself to accept defeat if needed. On July 11th, Wu Chen arrives right on time at Tangsha. He approaches reception, announcing his scheduled meeting with the gorgeous Su Qingyi. The employee greets him warmly, quickly confirming if he is indeed Wu Chen. He is escorted outside, where Su Qingyi waits on a private golf course. She swings her club, then turns to ask how he uncovered her secrets. He simply shrugs. How he found out is not important. She demands he name his price, but he just laughs. Does she really think this is blackmail? She snaps back, saying his refusal to take money makes him even harder to trust. As she prepares for another swing, he decides to push her buttons. He dares her to bury him right here to shut him up, but reminds her he is Li Rubbing's boyfriend. That means absolutely nobody would dare touch him. Confused by his boldness, she can only stare. He looks right back and tells her that what she really needs is to feel safe. He hugs her from behind to guide her swing, but she immediately tells him to let go. He reassures her that he is just teaching her how to play, so there is no need to overthink. Whispering in her ear, Wu Chen asks why she is still hesitating when he just proved his word. If the possessive Li Rubbing saw this scene, she would never believe it was innocent. Li Rubbing would absolutely tear him to pieces, but then a sudden realization hits Su Jingyin. He is actually the one who should be terrified right now, not her. The less she resists his touch, the more control she actually holds over this tense situation. They execute the swing together. Watching from afar, the bodyguards are completely baffled. They cannot tell if she is resisting his advances or quietly welcoming him close. He asks if she is not afraid he will call Li Rubbing, but she has a comeback. Since he also fears her exposing his deep secrets, they are perfectly even. Su Jingyin asks if he is intentionally giving her leverage to blackmail him. He just tells her not to get distracted and to correct her posture like the coach said. She listens to his instructions, slowly adjusting her stance. Meanwhile, the bodyguards panic. They realize they must inform the madam immediately. One of them quickly pulls out his phone. He reports the wild situation. Back on the green, Wu Chen offers one more lesson. He tells her to keep her arms straight, making a slight adjustment to her hips. After a solid swing, she excitedly asks if she actually hit the ball. Wu Chen praises her quick learning, but sadly admits this is his final lesson. This catches her off guard. Why is he stopping now? He figures her mother must have already ordered the guards to lock him down. On the call, the furious mother hears about the physical contact and demands tight security. She orders them not to let him escape under any circumstances while she rushes over. The guard confirms. Nervous, she asks him what they should do now. With her mother closing in, Wu Chen offers a wild choice: run away with him. Su Jingyin freezes. Escaping like this, it is absolute madness. But he asks if she really wants to live under their thumb forever. He grabs her hand, pulling her along. The bodyguards immediately spring into action. One guard yells for them to stop, but their getaway car is already speeding away. He barks orders to call the boss and report the escape immediately. Over the line, the guard admits the young lady has run off with him. Inside the car, Wu Chen asks if she is scared, but she shakes her head. Her phone rings with a call from her mother, but he tells her to ignore it. Instead, he suggests she take this chance to actually be herself for once. But she answers, calmly telling her furious mother that she is with a friend. Her mother screams in disappointment, demanding she return home this instant. Wu Chen presses a button in the car as she speaks up. She thanks him, deciding that today she will finally live on her own terms. She yells directly into the phone. She is a human being, not a doll. She wants to be a real person, not her mother's puppet, and throws her phone aside. The car speeds up as Wu Chen asks if she is absolutely sure about running away with him. He reminds her that her mother will use every ounce of family power to hunt them down. She opens up, admitting she was always forced to live exactly how her mother wanted. There was constant pressure on her to perform better day after day. He believes she made the right choice, and Su Qingyan agrees this is her only shot. Then she suddenly asks if he is actually Li Rubing's boyfriend. Unbuckling her seatbelt, she asks if he fears she will learn the truth. Suddenly, she leans right in and kisses him. Startled, Wu Chen asks what she is doing. She throws the question back, demanding to know why he is kissing and biting her. Wu Chen tells her to be quiet, noting that her hidden side is actually pretty fascinating. Right then, he remembers a moment from one of his past lifetimes. He had captured her on this exact day to satisfy his own curiosity. He wanted to know how she became such a high-quality human model. She had opened up her laptop, a forum right in front of him, Wu Chen remembers. He saw her post. She was venting about her difficult life. He had actually replied, saying he was exhausted too. Maybe they should just run away together. But now, rereading it, he realized the truth. Her perfect image was just a heavy, suffocating burden chaining her down. That single post did not just expose her hidden masks. It also proved her secret power, 4 hidden attributes hidden right there in plain sight. He never expected to use that. Back in reality, he looks at her now. Get in, he tells her to buckle up, then asks where she wants. To go anywhere is fine, she says, so he decides to take her home. 4 hours later, they arrive. The car stops right outside his quiet apartment building. They share the bed, sleeping peacefully. Then his phone alarm suddenly starts buzzing. Wu Chen answers his brother-in-law. Apparently, Madame Su is already tracking them. Don't worry, Wu Chen says, I will handle it. He hangs up immediately. Then, the phone rings again, another call. This time it is from Li Robing. She asks what is happening because her brother called her. He just teases her, saying she can ask him directly. Then he passes the phone right over to Su Qingyan beside him in bed, telling her to speak without any worries. She answers, who is my darling speaking with, she asks, completely fearless. Oh, the drama is real here. That bold question leaves the other side speechless. Li Robing gasps, who is this, she demands. The woman introduces herself as Su Qingyan. Li Robing instantly gets suspicious. What is your relationship with Wu Chen, she asks. We are just close friends discussing some work, she replies calmly. On the call, Li Robing snaps that the woman is interfering with her business. She demands the phone be handed right back to Wu Chen, who grabs the device and answers. He tells her he is staying at the old house her brother gifted him. Do not leave, she orders. The woman asks if he actually fears her. But Wu Chen laughs it off. Their entire relationship is just a fake setup anyway. It is a total secret, and he even calls her fake like her predecessors. Those other 3 before her, he warns her to keep quiet about everything. Nobody else knows the truth. She pushes him, realizing he has zero fear. He slowly grabs her chin, letting the tense silence stretch between them. He asks if she regrets her choice, but Su Qingyi denies it completely. Meanwhile, Li Rowing drives through the night, thinking about how mysterious Wu Chen really is. He is the true center of this entire mess. 40 minutes later, Wu Chen opens the door. He invites Li Rowing inside. She instantly walks past him, heading straight into the apartment. She suddenly stops, demanding to know where the other woman is. He simply gestures ahead. He points directly toward one of the back rooms. Right then, Su Qingyi emerges. Turning from the stove, she asks if Miss Li has arrived, greeting her casually. She says it has been a long time since they last met. Li Rowing stares. Seeing Su Qingyi actively cooking for Wu Chen makes her freeze. The host turns back. She promises dinner will be ready in just a moment. Wu Chen grabs Li Rowing's hand. He insists nothing is going on here. He is just introducing his wife. Shocked, she demands to know when this happened. He gives a simple answer. Just today, he says. She asks if they already knew each other before. But he denies it. She tries to ask something else, but gets cut off. From the kitchen, Su Qingyi calls out that the meal is almost ready now. She asks Wu Chen to watch the pot while she runs to the bathroom. Before leaving, she tells Miss Li to take a seat, promising to serve them shortly. Li Rowing pulls him sharply by the arm, demanding that they speak alone right now. But Su Qingyi pops back in, asking if the bedding was hung on the balcony. Scenes of Su Qingyi doing everyday household chores flash through Li Rowing's mind. It leaves her speechless. Before she knows it, they are all sitting at the table. Su Qingyi happily invites them to eat, offering a choice piece of food to Wu Chen. She tells him to try it. He takes a bite, praising how delicious it is. He then invites Miss Li to dig in too, but Li Rowing has other plans. She asks Su Qingyi directly how long she has actually been with Wu Chen. With a serene smile, Su Qingyi replies that it was love at first sight. She knew he was her destiny immediately. Then, she asks if Li Rowing's relationship is fake. Su Qingyi promises she won't tell a soul about their secret arrangement. That way, they can maintain their close public image without any awkward issues. At the table, she offers Wu Chen another shrimp. He turns to Li Rowing. He asks why she is staring like that. Su Qingyi hugs him tightly, interjecting. Wait, check out this power move. Li Rowing ignores her and grabs a shrimp. Slowly, she stands up, holding the shrimp out for Wu Chen to eat. He accepts it. He happily eats the food offered by Li Rowing, praising the taste. He declares he is full and satisfied, having eaten far too quickly. Su Qingyi stands up to clear the table, telling him to entertain their guest. She carries the dirty dishes away. Immediately, Li Rowing lands across the table. She asks what on earth he is trying to do, suddenly grabbing his wrist. She demands that he follow her, giving him absolutely no chance to refuse. Pulling him forcefully, she drags him out of the room, tossing him onto the sofa. She demands the absolute truth, but Wu Chen only smiles back in calm silence. He remarks that a loss is a loss, so there is no need for questions. Since she lost their bet, it is time to pay up. Stunned, Li Rowing freezes. He complains that he is tired, demanding she start by giving him a soothing massage. She suggests moving to the bedroom, complaining that the living room is too uncomfortable. 10 minutes later, Su Qingyi walks right into the room, asking where they are. When nobody answers, a strange noise from another part of the house catches her attention. Wondering what is going on, she walks closer to the bedroom door. Calling out his name, she peeks inside and finds Li Rowing massaging Wu Chen. Li Rowing glances back, calmly telling her to rest since they will finish shortly. Su Qingyi realizes that the other woman does not care about being seen at all. She realizes they must be allies, and Wu Chen has far more power than expected. Without a second thought, she climbs onto the bed right next to them. Sliding up to Li Rowing, she suggestively invites her to massage him together. Both women start massaging Wu Chen's back together, a truly wild situation. She asks Wu Chen what he did to make Su Qingyi adore him this much. Su Qingyi fires the question back, asking what she is really thinking. Wu Chen sighs, telling Su Qingyi to stop and remember to take her medicine. She agrees, heading downstairs to grab it, but the second she leaves the room. Li Rowing turns to Wu Chen and demands a straight answer. He admits that the Su family has been digging into his entire life. Worse, Su Qingyi ran away with him. Li Rowing demands to know his plan. She warns him that the Su family will never stop hunting him down. Why run, he asks, when they can easily handle the Su family together. Li Rowing points out that right now, he is supposed to be her boyfriend. Wu Chen chuckles, saying that is exactly why they can face this trouble. When asked why Su Qingyi fled, he explains she just wants real freedom. Right then his phone rings. It is Su Qingyi on the line. She warns him that her family has arrived, but he tells her to stay calm. He tells Li Rowing that the Su family has arrived downstairs. She grows suspicious. She asks if he engineered this entire setup, admitting she hates this feeling. He claims it is pure coincidence, but she accuses him of playing people. She clarifies that she does not blame him for his schemes. She simply hates being handled. He jokes that she sounds like a spoiled child. He suggests they walk down and present a completely united front to them. Then Wu Chen takes her hand. Outside, a group of hostile men confronts them. One of the thugs points a finger, marking Wu Chen as their target. He barks that they are not here for Li Rowing, but for him. They accuse him of kidnapping their mistress. Li Rowing steps up immediately. She coldly asks why her man would ever need to kidnap another woman. Suddenly, Su Qingyi steps forward and asks who said she was ever kidnapped. She warns them not to use her family name to stir up trouble here. From a parked car nearby, Mrs. Su steps out, looking incredibly cold. She tells her daughter to stop making such a ridiculous scene. Li Robing greets Mrs. Su, praising her radiant appearance as always. Mrs. Su returns the greeting, noting it has been a long time since they spoke. Then Mrs. Su turns her sharp gaze directly onto Wu Chen. She remarks that his talent matches the rumors, praising Li Robing's taste. Li Robing responds with perfect manners, thanking her for the kind words. Mrs. Su suggests talking somewhere private, and Li Robing calmly agrees. Later at the Su family tea house, the mother confronts Robing directly. She demands to know why she was sneaking around with her daughter. She even accuses her of kidnapping, of breaking the law entirely. Robing calmly explains the original agreement, though plans changed in the end. She sent her boyfriend Wu Chen instead, but the mother is furious. Why did she hear that Wu Chen dragged her daughter away, by force? Robing fires back. At 27, Qingying can make her own life choices. Mrs. Su should focus on the actual, shocking reason they met up. Robing points out a sad truth. Qingying lives like a total puppet. She can't even choose her own meals, making her deeply envy Robing. The mother is stunned. She demands to know what rubbing really means. Robing explains that the poor girl reached out to her begging for help. She pulls out the prescription medicine Qingying secretly bought all by herself. Mrs. Su is totally confused. Why is buying medicine such a crime? It is not about the pills. Robing explains it is about the freedom. At 27 years old, she was simply thrilled to buy something on her own. Wu Chen silently admires her. Her logic is absolutely, flawlessly sharp. Robing stands up. She declares that Qingying is suffering from massive stress. This secret medicine purchase was her small, desperate act of silent rebellion against you. What happens next time when there is no one around to help? Robing shrugs it off, saying there is no need since they are friends. Seeing an opening, Wu Chen decides it is time to step in. He stands up abruptly, claiming they have both worked a long day. Frankly, they are both completely sick of dealing with this family drama. Robing looks at him in shock, whispering for him to stop interfering. But Wu Chen pushes on, angry that Robing's kindness gets zero appreciation. Robing quickly places a hand on his shoulder, trying to cool him. She pleads with him not to fight, whispering that they are close. The display of loyalty finally gets through to a quiet Mrs. Su. She turns directly to her quiet daughter and makes a surprising decision. From now on, she will let Qingying make her own life choices. She admits her daughter is incredibly lucky to have such a friend. Robing smiles, saying Qingying is a wonderful person who deserves to be happy. Noting the late hour, the mother says goodbye, telling her to relax. In a rare move, she even allows Qingying to spend the night here. As the door closes, all three let out a massive sigh, relief. Wu Chen grins. The first stage of their master plan is complete. Robing peeks out the window and confirms that the mother left alone. With the coast clear, a relieved Qingying throws her arms around him. She asks if he was actually angry, but he laughs. Total act. He pulls out his phone, ready to tackle the real business now. He smirks, wondering who he should call to set the next trap. Robing frantically grabs his hand, telling him to stop playing around. He pulls her close, playfully asking if she thinks he loves trouble. Turning to Qingying, he asks if she wants to keep meetings secretly. He calls him directly by name, leaving Li Ryu being speechless, then tells Su Qingying to listen up. He is making a call right now. Wu Chen then lays out the master plan for her. She must take over the Su family, taking the CEO seat at Jinfu Group. He calls her name again, waiting. She finally looks up. She agrees to the deal. Confident, Wu Chen grabs his phone. He is ready to set his plan into motion. He puts the phone to his ear. It announces they are starting right now. Su Qingying can only watch in silence. She quietly watches Li Ryubing and Wu Chen sitting side by side, wondering about their intimacy. Determined to join them, she clenches her fist tightly. Wu Chen catches her gaze and casually switches the call to speakerphone. During the call, Wu Chen asks the trembling man about terrifying nightmares and stashed cash. Confused, terrified, the panicked voice has no idea who is speaking. Su Qingying immediately asks if he can really take over the family with just that. Can a few sentences really give them complete control of the Su family? He explains the trick, break them from within, then let them follow him. Li Ruobing advises him to reconsider, but he is already 2 steps ahead. A new bet, she falls for it and agrees to go. An hour later, he tells both ladies to enjoy some tea while he heads in. Inside, a businessman warmly greets him and praises his perfect timing. The man stands up, double-checking the door before introducing himself as Yao Honglin. He asks if Wu Chen was the mysterious caller, and he calmly confirms it. The director instantly demands to know where the target is hiding. Yao Honglin threatens him, but then quickly dangles a massive cash offer. Wu Chen just smiles, they can talk numbers later. He points out that the director is being quite bold and audacious. The director snaps, warning him not to throw around baseless accusations. The buried fortune, Wu Chen brings it up out of nowhere. He notes how modern technology makes solving cold cases incredibly easy. Cornered, the director offers 155 million for his absolute silence. Wu Chen brings up his boss's illegal deals and falsified accounts. All done with his mistress, Yao Honglin panics, raising his offer dramatically. 3 billion split 3 ways, that is his absolute limit. Suddenly, Su Qingying and Li Ruobing burst right into the room. Yao Honglin turns, completely stunned to see both of them standing there. He stammers, wondering how they got here so fast and what they heard. Su Qingying demands the truth. Did he really murder people and start fires? He can only stutter, unable to answer. Wu Chen just smiles calmly. He serves some tea, telling Su Qingying not to worry about the past. He turns to Yao Honglin and demands full support for her from now on. Is it really that simple? The director cannot believe his ears. Wu Chen confirms it. Relieved, Yao Honglin says there was no need for such fuss. He downs his tea, fully accepting that Su Qingying is the sole heir. She is the true leader of the Su family, and he will obey. Yao Honglin swears to Wu Chen that her affairs are now his priority. He will follow her lead. Wu Chen smiles, knowing everything is going perfectly. A gentleman keeps his promise, and with that he prepares to leave, rubbing. Wonders if one vote actually matters. She points out there are over a dozen directors and they will not easily bend, but Wu Chen just smiles. Are they trying to force his hand? Rubbing warns him that this is straight-up blackmail. He just shrugs. You do not need to handle everyone, just a few key players. Qingying asks how many targets are still left on his list, and he answers only 5. She begs him not to push himself too hard. Later, Wu Chen meets the CMO, CFO, legal head and independent director of the Jin Fu Group. By the end of the night, he says his goodbyes and heads for the car, rubbing. Wonders how he can run the board without the numbers. He just smiles. Some things are simply too hard to explain. Qingying walks up and says she will trust him completely because he is always right. He then asks rubbing if he and Qingying can crash at her place tonight. Rubbing instantly shuts that down. Still, she wonders why he even brought them here in the first place, but he just tells them to go. Rubbing tells Qingying to take a quick bath, then she suddenly pulls Wu Chen close for a kiss, and he wraps his arms around her to return it, but instantly, he realizes this is all just a show. She is deliberately baiting the paparazzi, exactly as he figured she would. Rubbing locks eyes with him for a long moment. Far off, a hidden photographer snaps their picture on the balcony, and Wu Chen gladly plays his part. Rubbing whispers he knew they were there all along. No wonder he stayed so calm. Meanwhile, over at the Rui Long headquarters in South Guang City, absolute fury erupts. Ding Rui Long stares at the fresh pictures of Rubbing out on the balcony, flashing across his screens. Enraged, he screams Wu Chen's name and swears to end his life. Immediately, he summons Jiang Chuan, who stands waiting. Ding Rui Long demands that he track down Wu Chen and eliminate him. Jiang Chuan requests 5 days to get the job done, but is furious. Boss demands it done in just 3. Left with no choice, the assassin accepts. The following morning, Wu Chen wakes up Qingying. She groggily complains about the lack of sleep, but he tells her to rest after work. He asks if she remembers her lessons, and she nods, fully aware that today will decide her entire future. Right on cue, Rubbing arrives at the door to drive Qingying over to the headquarters. When they walk in, eager colleagues crowd around them, but Qingying gently directs them to take all questions straight to the boardroom. She then bids goodbye to Rubbing. By 10 o'clock sharp, the high-stakes executive meeting is underway, and voices are already raised in anger. Her own mother demands the immediate firing of Zhou De and Yang Qiu, even threatening to summon the entire board of directors. Calmly, Qingying stands up, declaring that as the executive vice president, she actually holds the authority to call that meeting herself. Another executive pipes up, reminding her she does not need any official approval to dismiss security personnel. Enraged, the mother slams her hands on the table, demanding a solid reason. For these firings, what could those loyal men have possibly done wrong? She asks, warning about lawsuits, but Qingying stands firm, claiming she has a perfectly valid reason for her actions. She slowly begins to lay out. It goes back to a major robbery 5 years ago at their largest store. The whole world questioned their security. Stock prices tanked, dropping their value to 40 billion, but Xingyi steps in. She points out that Joda, as the security director, must take total responsibility. They must show the world they can reform. She demands his firing, the only way to save their tanking stock price. This bold move completely blindsides everyone in the room. The matriarch agrees to Joda's firing but instantly counters, demanding answers about Yang Kuo. Will he face consequences too? Xingyi calmly replies that Yang Kuo already left. He does not work here anymore, so there is no blaming him. Her mother snaps back, revealing Yang Kuo is just her personal bodyguard. She realizes her daughter is simply looking for a reason to rebel. Furious at the rebellion, she demands an immediate board meeting. Everyone must gather at 3 in the afternoon, while over at Symphony Fashion. Li Robing questions Wu Chen for just standing by and doing absolutely nothing. But he insists on just watching for now, prompting her to ask what he is sketching. Wu Chen just smiles slightly and tells her that he is drawing her. In his mind, he knows Ding Rulong is already making moves, meaning he must act too. Sitting across from him at the table, Li Robing asks what he is up to. Wu Chen repeats that he only wants to capture her likeness in a quick sketch. She sighs that she is way too busy with work to pose for him. He suggests she just keep working and pretend he is not even there. Just then, his phone lights up with a message from a new art group. He notices one of the members has close ties to Ding Rulong. They talk about Professor Xingchen, but he stays focused on drawing. He snaps a quick photo of his sketch with his phone right after. He sends it to the group, casually mentioning he is working on a piece. He stares at the screen, waiting for his target to join the chat. A slow, satisfied smirk finally spreads across his face. The bait is taken. A woman in the group has a secret past with Ding Rulong. As a former colleague, she actually had an illegitimate daughter with him. That child is already 14 years old, and now the mother is typing a message. She asks Professor Xingchen to evaluate her young daughter's latest artwork. He praises the talent, which prompts her to ask if he lives in Shanghai. Wu Chen realizes this trap is closing even faster than he anticipated. She offers 2,000 yen per private art lesson. But Wu Chen plays hard to get, showing a little hesitation. He stalls, suggesting they discuss the finer details later on. Giving him 24 hours to reply, Wu Chen looks at his phone with a grin. The plan is running smoothly, and now she's about to swim right into his net. She will come straight to Dong Hai, falling directly under his control as the ultimate piece. The key to breaking Ding Rulong, he quickly says goodbye to Li Robing. He tells her he must handle some urgent matters and steps away with a plan. He knows this mother and daughter are only the beginning of a much larger storm. Calling his contact, Wu Chen finally exposes his true role as a double agent. The person on the other end acts completely clueless, playing dumb to avoid any trouble. But one threat to find Li Wei instantly changes their tune. They beg to talk, so Wu Chen schedules a 3 o'clock meeting. The contact eagerly agrees, and at 3 in the afternoon, the entire group finally gathers. Inside Jinfu Group, an assistant announces that almost everyone has arrived. With the doors shut, the cold matriarch officially begins this highly anticipated board meeting. The urgent meeting is about a seemingly minor issue. It is a problem that initially seemed minor, but now she turns to her daughter. Though she permits open discussion, her tone is highly threatening. Anyone daring to oppose her must back it up with flawless, logical arguments. The director chimed in, glad he was already prepared for this sudden situation. Otherwise, adjusting to this sudden shift would be impossible. She praises Su Qingying, then immediately rejects her proposal. She flatly calls her daughter's proposal completely unrealistic and a massive risk. She argues that firing a loyal, long-time veteran like Zhou De would be a massive mistake. The other board members nod in agreement, giving the mother full authority. She warns that forcing this termination would expose the entire company to danger. Again, the directors agree, but Su Qingying steps up and cuts her off. To settle this, Su Qingying boldly demands an immediate vote from everyone in the room. And get this, when one member actually raises a hand, the room freezes. Slowly, several other board directors follow suit, raising their hands in agreement. Even the most senior veterans like Yao Hong and Chenlei voted yes. Seeing this, Su Qingying's mother immediately glares at Chenlei for an explanation. She sharply reminds her that she was the one who built her career. But Su Qingying intervenes, asking her mother to stop pressuring the voters. She demands they move forward, which only infuriates the older woman further. An uncomfortable silence fills the room as the board members exchange tense glances. In a quick flashback, Wu Chen reminds Su Qingying of a vital truth. The undecided voters just need to see strong resolve before they fall in line. Back in reality, she knows she has to push harder than ever before. Boldly, Su Qingying asks if anyone else is brave enough to back her. Suddenly, Tang Ding, Su Ruin's loyal ally, raises his hand to vote. He notes that Su Qingying has grown up, and her mother must accept it. Screaming in rage, her mother slams her hands down, calling this entire thing absurd. She sneers that Su Qingying only has 9 votes, which is still not enough. Her gaze sweeps across the room, daring anyone to oppose her and old Su. Su Qingying needs just one single vote to secure her ultimate victory. Inside her mind, Wu Chen's past voice echoes, advising her to strike the final blow. Now is the perfect moment. Su Qingying stands up and confronts her mother directly. She asks if her mother really wants to push this, but the older woman refuses to yield. Feeling completely in control, she expects her daughter to back down immediately. But Su Qingying questions if these desperate actions are actually helping the family. She demands to know how long they must remain the industry's laughingstock. If the proposal fails, the Su family will fracture into rival factions. Internal wars will tear them apart, sending their stock prices straight into the ground. The stock would plummet, leaving the company completely bankrupt. The older woman can only wonder what really happened to her family. She decides to walk away for good. Qingying steps up to the table, ready to take charge. Asking who supports her and who stands against her, every hand instantly rises. The proposal passes unanimously, and Qingying officially closes the meeting, declaring that from this moment on, the Su family and Jinfu group would be completely changed. Meanwhile, Wu Chen gets a lunch invitation in his car, asking if this is about Chief Lu. The caller desperately needs help, and even though it is early for his other plans, Wu Chen agrees to meet at the Ufu residence on the west side of town. When he arrives, he is greeted warmly by Chief Lu. The older man points to his head and he asks how his first love ended so badly, recounting that she threw a cup right at him before kicking him out. Now, he begs for help to win them back. Wu Chen tries to calm him down, telling him to sit, but Chief Lu, he insists he cannot wait because this involves his own son. Sitting down at last, pouring some tea, Wu Chen asks what he actually did. Chief Lu explains. First, he went to see her, bringing a massive bouquet, a diamond ring, and a proposal necklace. On top of that, he even bought his own son Ferrari. Wu Chen realizes he tried to buy her love with cash, which honestly, it just feels like an insult after all she went through. Talk about a mistake. In a flashback, Ma Huifeng locks the door, threatening to move abroad if Lu Guanyin ever tries to contact them again. Back in the present, he finally gets the gravity of his mistake. Lu Guanyin desperately asks Wu Chen for help, and the young man confirms he does, presenting 2 very different options. One is quite slow, the other resolves everything today. He immediately goes with the faster option, asking what he must do. Wu Chen warns him that money won't solve this, and brother Lu will have to go through some major difficulties. Lu Guanyin insists he is not afraid of suffering, begging to know what to do, so Wu Chen details his plan, making it clear he must stand firm and completely set aside his pride. Entirely, now watch from a security room, Wu Chen observes Lu Guanyin in the hallway. Knowing the rest is up to him, the old chief knocks on the door, calling out for Xiaoping, but a cold voice inside replies that she is dead. Never return, she warns, leaving him begging desperately to open up. Ma Huifeng then opens the door, telling him to leave. How long will this drama keep going? He holds out a warm Jan Bing pancake, reminding her how they used to eat them. When they had no money, she shoves him away, wanting nothing, as Lu Guanyin bends down to retrieve the scattered food from the floor. Suddenly, their son, Ma Junyi, appears and warns him to get lost. Ma Huifeng tells her son to head back inside, but Lu Guanyin begs her not to get agitated in front of him. Their intense argument drags on for nearly half an hour. Soon, security guards show up after neighbors complain, so he takes the blame for the disturbance. She flatly denies knowing him, telling the guards to drag him out. Even so, Lu Guanyin refuses to budge, yelling that he is just talking to his wife. He shoves the guards back, warning them to stay out of his family business, while a security guard retaliates with a kick, claiming he only attacked first. Sprawled on the dirt, Lu Guanyin dares the guards to just end his life. Without his family, his life means nothing. In the monitoring room, Wu Chen smirks. He praises brother Lu's incredibly detailed performance, knowing their plan is working. The next phase is coming. Suddenly, Majini rushes out, screaming for them to stop. Stop hurting my father. The furious young man prepares to fight. Mahyang screams for peace, running over to help the fallen Lu Guanyin. She pulls him to his feet. Back inside, Wu Chen congratulates his actors. That was a pretty realistic show, exactly the outcome he wanted. One actor eagerly offers to help next time, confident they can make it even better. With this experience, the next scam will be flawless. Staring at Lu Guanyin's bloody face, Wu Chen decides his part here is done. There's no need to intervene further. Brother Lu can easily handle the rest. Grinning, Wu Chen turns his focus. It is time to handle some real business now. Inside his car, Wu Chen's phone rings. He answers a call from a late associate, demanding to know what they are planning. The caller shrugs off the attitude, stating he has no interest in starting an argument. Just let know when you arrive, he says. Minutes later, Wu Chen pulls up. He steps into the Shua Cafe in Dongcheng, offering a casual apology. Sorry for keeping you waiting, he says to the heavily guarded double agent. Meng Junhao glares, asking if Wu Chen was the voice on the phone. Wu Chen nods, asking if they should really discuss this in front of subordinates. Who even are you? Meng Junhao snaps, his irritation growing by the second. Wu Chen pulls out his phone. Since they can't have a civilized talk, he's leaving. But as the call connects, Meng Junhao hears a very familiar voice. He recognizes Liro Tai on the other end, realizing this man is indeed Wu Chen. Right then, Wu Chen warns Liro Tai about a traitor lurking in his inner circle. He needs to clean house immediately. Liro Tai demands a name, ready to strike. Wu Chen grabs Meng Junhao, exposing him as the mole on the spot. He names him as Agent C082. Can we talk like adults now? Defeated, the older man quickly agrees to discuss whatever Wu Chen wants. Meng Junhao meekly pours some tea when his phone suddenly begins to ring. It is Lu Guanyin on the line, explaining that he has run into his own serious trouble. Wu Chen needs Lu Guanyin's massive influence, so he acts quickly. He tells Lu Guanyin to meet him right here at the Shua Cafe. Meng Junhao nervously asks if anyone else is coming, but Wu Chen just smiles. It is just a friend, he says. Then he drops a massive bombshell. Meng Junhao sold out to Ding Rong 4 years ago, placing spies everywhere. He even planted fake guards around Liro Tai to keep close tabs on him. But 6 months ago, he got sloppy and almost got killed by Liro Tai. Terrified, Meng Junhao begs him to stop talking and just name his price. He will do anything. Still, Wu Chen knows Ding Rong will strike soon. Meng Junhao insists that protecting him is not his job. But Wu Chen has a different plan, just play along with Ding Rong. It is the only way to survive. Meng Junhao suggests staging an ambush. But Wu Chen flatly refuses. A fake fight simply will not cut it. Only way for him to stay alive. Confused, the older man asks why Wu Chen sought him out if he does not plan to act. Calmly, the young man replies that he is just slightly more interesting than the others. Wu Chen asks him to deliver a package to Ding Rong, but the timing is not quite right yet. Just then, Lu Guanhua arrives at the cafe and greets his brother. Immediately after, he confronts Meng Junhao about the dozens of thugs waiting downstairs to cause trouble. Meng Junhao quickly denies the entire charge, while the others claim it is just a big misunderstanding. Lu Guanhua turns to Wu Chen, declaring that his problems are now his own, promising to destroy anyone who touches him. Meanwhile, Wu Chen realizes that with the backing of Lu Guanhua, his reputation in the entire city of Donghai will change completely. Just then, his phone rings. It is a call from a woman. He answers to discover she is standing right outside his house. He quickly bids the other two men farewell to handle things, while Meng Junhao smirks at the feminine voice on the phone. As he drives, Wu Chen tells her not to cry and learns that her parents are forcing her to study abroad. She does not want to go and desperately begs for his help. He tells her to use the spare key to go inside and wait. Shortly after she enters the house, Mu Ankin arrives with her guards, wanting to celebrate her success with her husband. But right as she reaches the door, she realizes she does not have the key to his place. A bodyguard suggests breaking the lock, and she orders him to go ahead. He forces the lock. The door swings open. Inside, Hu Ziwei looks toward the door as Mu Ankin stares right back. Hu Ziwei questions why Miss Su is here, while the wealthy woman demands to know how she got inside. Hu Ziwei explains that Wu Chen asked her to wait here and gave her a spare key. Now, Mu Ankin wants to know exactly when she arrived. Sensing the thick tension in the room, Hu Ziwei replies that she got here just minutes ago. Then, the wealthy woman asks if Wu Chen said when he would be back. She hears that he should be home soon. Mu Ankin then invites her to sit down while she unpacks her things. Hu Ziwei sits, quietly watching the other woman very closely. Other woman, and yes, she actually imagines the two of them kissing. Mu Ankin opens the fridge, offering her a cold drink. That is when Hu Ziwei notices their personal items are kept together. Inside, sensing her gaze, Mu Ankin asks what her connection to Wu Chen actually is. Cutting straight to the chase, she asks when they got together. The honest answer comes incredibly fast. It only happened a couple of days ago. Mu Ankin suggests she call her older sister and proposes they get along nicely. Meanwhile, stuck in horrible traffic, Wu Chen grumbles about the delay. He opens the door and stops. He smells delicious food, wondering if Liu Kaisha actually knows how to cook. But then he spots both weapons together, as Mu Ankin playfully warns her little sister to watch out. They both greet him warmly, and Mu Ankin invites him to dinner, calling him husband. Wu Chen quickly explains she is as the youngest, she uses that title, but it only irritates her. Instantly annoyed by the remark, she immediately starts questioning him. She demands to know why that stranger gets to call him her husband. Trembling with anxiety, Hu Ziwei begs him to finally tell her the truth. But Mu Chen cuts in, asking them to wash up for dinner. Hu Ziwei reluctantly agrees, though she wonders how she became the little sister again. Over dinner, Wu Chen asks Mu Chen how the board meeting went. She replies that everything happened exactly as he had predicted. She is honestly just relieved to see their plan working out so smoothly. Here we go, Hu Ziwei snaps, demanding the truth over their little display. She wants real answers, but he just smiles and dares her to guess. She threatens to never come home, but he remains completely unfazed. He points out the guest room is open, so she asks about Miss Su. Mu Chen chimed in that the lady has no plans of leaving either. Hu Ziwei warns them not to complain later, as bedtime finally rolls around. Wu Chen suggests Liu Kaisha sleep in the spare room, but Hu Ziwei objects. She defiantly plops onto his bed, insisting she is sleeping right here. On the other hand, Mu Chen tells her husband she does not even mind. So Wu Chen casually suggests they all share the bed since it is huge. And honestly, the next morning, they all wake up crammed in the same bed. Half asleep, Hu Ziwei mutters that last night totally exhausted her. She wants to sleep in, but a sudden phone call ruins the peace. Wu Chen answers and learns that Li Robing's father is heading over. Before rushing out, he quickly hugs Mu Chen, wondering why the sudden panic. Li Robing urges him to hurry up before all their hard work is ruined. 40 minutes later, outside the company, she complains about his terrible timing. Stepping out of the car, she asks him to zip up her dress. Holding hands, they walk inside where Luru AI is already waiting anxiously. He immediately questions his brother-in-law, warning that their father is waiting. Li Robing confronts her father, asking why he showed up without warning. The old man demands to know the real reason behind her visit. She insists the timing is wrong, but he blames her for everything. He accuses her of neglecting her brother and banning him from Dong Hai. She immediately fires back, asking how any of this is her fault. Luru AI quickly steps in, begging his family to stop fighting. Li Robing sighs, agreeing that they have no time for petty arguments. Walking over to Wu Chen, she proudly introduces him as her boyfriend. Wu Chen politely calls him uncle, though she hints that might change. Once they marry, she teases, but her father remains dead serious. His cold stare makes her wonder if something is seriously wrong here. Her brother looks away, realizing he cannot bail her out this time. The angry father accuses them of playing him for a fool, but Luru AI defends them. He swears he did a background check on Wu Chen from birth. Yet the father refuses to buy it, completely convinced of his theory. He claims the real Wu Chen is dead, and this guy is just an imposter. The father reveals he even ran a DNA test using chopsticks Wu Chen, used during a dinner with his parents, which confirmed his identity, still the father. Suspects this is simply another clever trick Lee Rubbing planned out in advance. Sitting back, the older man invites Wu Chen to sit, promising to expose every single lie. Lee Rubbing's father then begins questioning him about his background and future plans, while Wu Chen confirms he works at her company. He says he graduated in computer science and wants to help take Lee Rubbing's business public. Noting his ambition, the father realizes the answer matches his private investigation perfectly, so he asks about his hobbies. Wu Chen lists a few things, including calligraphy, music, kickboxing, and fast cars. Then he casually mentions he likes weapons. Surprised, the father asks if he actually knows anything about them. Lee Rubbing immediately gets nervous because, given his ordinary background, he should have zero experience with real firearms. Wu Chen simply explains that, like most guys, he just got interested in them, did some research online, and once crafted a wooden model. Lee Rubbing wonders if he is trying to cause trouble on purpose. Suddenly, the father turns to Lee Rudai, asking if he brought his piece. When his son nods, he commands him to hand it directly to Wu Chen. Having no choice, Lee Rudai reluctantly hands the loaded handgun over to Wu Chen. Wu Chen examines it, describing the model and build with complete precision. Next, he ejects the clip, letting the bullets clatter across the tabletop. He smiles exactly 6 rounds, proving his initial prediction was right. Seeing this display, Lee Rubbing's father decides the guy is definitely legit. This level of expertise proves his bond with her is real, but hold on, a massive problem arises if a special forces operator is dating his daughter. What are his actual goals here? Still, the elder has to respect Wu Chen's incredible talent. Wu Chen then proposes that they speak completely in private. Lee Rubbing objects, but her father commands her to get out of the room with her brother. She refuses. Her father explains that Wu Chen himself made the request. Instantly, Wu Chen reaches out to reassure her, saying some things are better discussed alone. After hesitating, she finally agrees to leave. On their way out, the father quietly asks Lee Rudai if the hidden cameras are on, and his son nods. He notes how well Lee Rubbing listens to Wu Chen, who asks for a quick second. He grabs a wine bottle containing a bug and smashes it onto the floor. Back in the monitoring room, the feed cuts out completely. Lee Rubbing panics. Meanwhile, Wu Chen turns and stares straight into another hidden lens. Now watch, he points the gun at his own temple, telling the older man that now they can talk. Shocked, the father demands to know his real identity and his intentions. In the control room, Lee Rubbing desperately asks her brother what happened to the video. Lee Rudai admits he is completely in the dark. Meanwhile, Wu Chen jokingly points out they really are a proper family, since both siblings have also pointed guns at him before. Next, he bets the father that this handgun is not even loaded. He drops the bullets onto the table. What is your true purpose? He wants to know what Wu Chen really wants with his daughter. Wu Chen shrugs. I like her, want kids, simple as that. No fear in this kid. The father gets straight to business. Wu Chen fires back, accusing him of never caring about Lee Rubbing. You only care about profit, especially with this arranged marriage. He confronts him over Ding Ryuang. The old man snaps. Are you lecturing me? He growls. Meanwhile, Lee Rubbing is desperate. She drags her brother to the wall, pressing her ear tight. She hopes to catch their voices right behind the sofa on the other side. But Lyro Tai admits he went all out on renovations. Soundproofing is too good, but Wu Chen keeps pressing. Ding Ryuang is too wild to control. Then, a name drop. He asks if his uncle remembers a kid named Dong Yuan Tao. That kid drowned 10 years ago. The father scoffs. Wu Chen grins. No drowning, murder. The old man refuses to believe it. The Dong family would never dare stand against the Dings. Wu Chen shakes his head. This is not about families but one man. We are talking about Ding Ruang. He slides over Hishikin's photo. She watched Ding Ruang murder Dong Yuantao with her own eyes. She only stays with him out of fear, but things are changing. Wu Chen is in touch. She is ready to testify. The old man starts sweating. What on earth are you planning? Wu Chen just smiles. You already know exactly what I want. This starts a brutal war. The Li family gets dragged in. But their alliance with the Dings is not official yet. Plus, the Sun family is still their strongest ally in this game. The father narrows his eyes. A rival family must have sent you. Someone wants to shatter the bond between our two families. Next door, Li Robing grabs a drill, ready to bore through the wall. Lyro Tai panics and warns her that the noise and vibration will ruin everything. She does not care. Find a solution, she demands. Lyro Tai sighs. He really cannot help her this time. Wu Chen suggests a new plan. Lyro Tai marries the cousin. Absolute madness, the father snaps, but Wu Chen just taps his phone screen. Give me the green light, and I will deliver results in just 1 week. The old man knows he is serious, but the timing is not right yet. An alliance with the Dong family is too risky right now. He demands patience. Tell me now, the father demands. What is your ultimate goal here? Wu Chen is blunt. I want Ding Ruang dead for targeting my woman. From that exact moment, the situation became a matter of life or death. He must die, Wu Chen repeats it. The father stares. Do you have dirt on the Wei family too? His uncle asks. Wu Chen will spill everything if his uncle leaves him alone in Donghai for 6 months. 2 hours later, Li Robing finally gets ready to drill through the wall. Holding a small shovel, right then, her brother rushes over to report that their father and brother-in-law have already left. Without wasting a second, the two run out. She approaches the young man, asking if their intense conversation is finally over. Wu Chen questions his uncle about his plans, and the older man simply replies that he is leaving. Li Robing demands to know what Wu Chen told her father to make him leave so easily. She insistently asks him for the truth. Her brother, Lirui, says his goodbyes and walks away, leaving the couple completely alone. That is when Li Robing claims that if he is actually sincere, she might just reconsider some things. Wu Chen says he is exhausted because Qing Ying has been acting way too clingy lately. She tries to push him away, calling him completely shameless. But he catches her wrist, wait for it, pulling her close to ask if she is not being just as shameless. He then asks if she is jealous, and her response comes fast. She tells him that she already informed his father about Ding Ruang and the Wei family. Hearing this, Wu Chen recounts the whole scandalous story about Dong Yuantao and Hai Shakin. Hearing this, Li Robing realizes that once the Dong family scandal breaks, even more people will want Ding Ruang's head. She congratulates him on his great work, asking in a provocative tone if she should reward him. Hearing this, Wu Chen asks if she is sure, since people next door are watching them. She calls him remarkable for still being able to fall for her, but he asks if the exact same thing did not happen to her. Li Robing admits that he fits all her requirements for a partner, which is exactly why she fell for him. Even so, she warns that she is no submissive kitten and demands that he submit to her instead. Wu Chen praises her bold speech and wishes her the best of luck. Soon, he remembers his promised reward and asks for a massage, but she says she might if he begs. He refuses, saying he will just ask someone else. Hearing this, Li Robing jealously asks if he means Suchani, but he denies it, claiming he does not want to bother her. She stares at him, demanding to know who he is talking about. Wu Chen explains that although she is not his yet, it will be easy to get a massage once they get to know each other much better. He describes her as younger, prettier, and from an even wealthier family. Li Robing asks if she is from Donghai. In response, Wu Chen tells her to stop guessing and warns that he is putting the call on speaker. As the phone rings, a female voice answers and he introduces himself, claiming to be a recent Donghai University graduate with some songs to show. The girl on the other end recognizes him as an upperclassman and asks if he really has songs, which he confirms. She complains that she has already received too many mediocre tracks, but he suggests she try his first. The young woman agrees to meet at a downtown cafe, and he promises to be there. Meanwhile, Li Robing ponders, realizing she does not recall anyone named Song among the top 10 richest families in Donghai. Suddenly, a suspicion hits her, and she asks if the girl belongs to the Wu family. He confirms she is Wang's daughter, making Li Robing Wonder if he fears her mother, explaining that Wu Yurang is known as the legendary Black Widow of Dong Hai's business world. Wu Chen calmly replies that he already knows she was once hailed as the city's top beauty, making Li Robing beg him to think this over, pleading with him to reconsider before offering to belong to him if he just avoids meeting her daughter, Song Suan. He reassures her that it is all a simple misunderstanding, and the massage is just an excuse. Li Robing clings to him and demands to know his true intentions, but he tells her to stay calm. Later, at a cafe, he meets a young woman who introduces herself as Song Suan and reaches out to shake his hand, introducing himself as Wu Chen. They share a handshake before she invites him to sit down and get something to drink. He quickly declines and she gets straight to business, asking if the material is on a flash drive or in a manuscript. Wu Chen simply asks for a pen and some paper, leaving Song Suan completely confused, but he calmly tells her he will write the song right now. Pointing to his head, he says everything is already locked in. She accuses him of playing a joke, but 10 minutes later she is holding the complete lyrics to Soul Remedy, shocked that he even mapped out musical arrangement. After humming the tune, she knows it is a masterpiece. It easily beats everything else she has heard. Wu Chen then asks if she actually plans on buying the track. With a broad smile, Song Suan says yes. But then she gets defensive, asking if he is just mocking her or if she looks like a fool. He sets the price at 100,000, non-negotiable, adding that he has more hits ready at the same rate. Song Suan rejects the deal, sliding the paper right back to him. Wu Chen pulls the notebook back and says the deal is off. He explains that even though they just met, he knows she won't steal his work. With that, he gets up and tells her he is taking off. Song Suan can only watch him walk away, whispering that he is incredibly strange. Soon after, he pulls up to a local studio, greeted by a staff member. At the door, Wu Chen books a recording room for 3 hours to record his track, confidently telling the staff that Song Suan will be joining him very shortly. The employee asks if he wants a sound engineer, but Wu Chen politely declines, stating that he can produce it himself. Once the recording wraps up, he holds a fresh disc, realizing it is finally time to head home and drop the track online. Out in the parking lot, he picks up a call from Su Qingying, who asks why he went ghost for 3 hours. He tells her he was just caught up. She mentions Chongqing decided to intern at Jinfu instead of heading overseas, earning his praise for the smart move. Before hanging up, Su Qingying warns him that they should not meet today to keep things quiet. He completely agrees, noting he has plenty of other chores to finish. Back on the road, Wu Chen spots a car tailing him from behind. Glancing at his rearview mirror, he spots that the plate is not local, instantly realizing these thugs belong to Ding Ruang. For now, he decides to prioritize publishing his song and lets them tail him. Once he gets home, he sits down in front of his laptop, ready to use the stage name Chen Wu, knowing Song Suan will instantly catch on. With the track uploaded online, now we wait to see if the magic actually happens. The following morning, he wakes up early, eager to see how his song is doing. But as soon as he opens his eyes, things look incredibly wrong. He notices something strange. The potted plant is turned, and even the sofa cushion is slightly displaced. This means they definitely installed a hidden camera or bug. Deciding to play along with their little game, Wu Chen calls Li Robing. He asks if they have an appointment, but she says they must discuss Suan. Wu Chen agrees, warning her that he will reach the company before 9. While driving, he knows the chance of an attack today is incredibly high. Even so, he keeps everything completely under his control for now. Glancing to the side, he sees his pursuers are already closing in fast. Suddenly, massive trucks surround his car in a classic staged accident trap. He quickly memorizes their license plates before making his next move. But get this, he instantly rewinds time and wakes up safe in bed. Immediately, he calls Liro Tai, warning him about the threat from Ding Ruang. He reveals that Ding Ruang's men are in Dong Hai, describing their target vehicles. Wanting them captured alive, he asks to intercept them out on the open road. Since fighting on the move is too risky, he heads for a static location instead. He drives straight toward the Shin Mao shopping mall parking lot to set his trap. A quick call to Li Robing confirms his location and warns about the cars. Now he just waits for Ding Ruang to send in his backup forces. One of the pursuing drivers spots him entering the underground parking lot. He orders a retreat, but during the turn, other cars suddenly smash into them. Annoyed, the driver yells out, asking the other guy if he even knows how to drive. Right then, a group of men surrounds them, and their leader steps up. He says no with a smirk, casually inviting them to take a little walk. Just like that, the drivers sent to attack Wu Chen are easily captured. Hearing that Lirotai caught his men, the enemy boss immediately triggers Plan B. Jiang Chuan, Ding Ruang's right hand, orders the next phase. He doubles the payout, demanding a quick, clean hit in that parking lot. Walking through the mall, Wu Chen answers a call to confirm he is at Xin Mao. The caller tells him to head to a crowded spot because backup is arriving soon. He agrees, says goodbye to his dear Miss Lai, and hangs up the phone. Stepping out, he spots a smashed security camera and knows the enemy is here. The next wave is already here. Instantly, thugs pull out knives and rush him, but Wu Chen grabs a wrist. He delivers a brutal strike to the man's chin, then kicks another attacker away. Clearing some space, he forces the brutal brawl back inside the elevator. With zero hesitation, his fist connects heavily with another thug's face. Meanwhile, Li Robing orders her personal squad to find Wu Chen right now. One of them tracks him to the elevator, and she demands to know the floor. Learning he is on the first basement floor, she quickly heads down. Standing at the lift, one of her men presses the call button. And check this out, the doors open to reveal him standing over them. Li Robing and her guards stare in shock as she calls out his name. Wu Chen just smiles, casually greeting her as his dear Miss Li. She runs straight to him as he asks if she is afraid of getting dirty. Li Robing quickly replies that they need to leave the area immediately. Hospital, calmly, Wu Chen just asks why, but she points out that he is covered in blood, demanding to know if he even realizes where he was injured. Wu Chen claims he suffered 0 injuries and even teases her for touching him, leaving her completely stunned. To realize he beat 6 assassins without a single scratch, he confirms the news, joking that all he really needs now is a warm bath back home. First, though, he grabs a cell phone from one of the fallen goons to snap a quick selfie. With his beaten attackers lying in the background, then sends it. Instantly, the phone rings with Jiang Chuan on the other end calling for his man, Wu Chen. Picks up and asks if he enjoyed the picture he just sent, then orders him to forward that photo to Ding Ruang as a warning that his final days are here. With that, he tosses the phone to one of Liang's men and tells them to call an ambulance for the owner. As Liang helps him stand, Wu Chen announces that he is leaving Donghai for 2 days to head down south. Liang demands to know if he intends to kill Ding Ruang himself, but he just kisses her. She begs him not to leave, but he gently pulls away, suggesting they head home and wash up first. Meanwhile, in another residence, someone gasps that it cannot be true. 2 girls are watching their screen, with one pointing out that the top track of the week is amazing. Suwon realizes this popular track, holding over 4,000 comments. The Soul Remedy, written by her senior Wu Chen, her friend questions. Is handwritten sheet music outdated? Suwon decides she needs to confirm everything directly with him, stepping out onto the balcony to make the call. Right then, Liang notices his phone ringing and wonders if that's Snake. Ding Ruang is plotting another scheme. She picks up the call and coldly asks if they want to die. Startled, Suwon asks if this is still Wu Chen's number, explaining she only called to talk about his song. Liang demands to know what song she is talking about, while the girl on the line introduces herself as his girlfriend, explaining she called to clear up a misunderstanding. The name song paired with that apology instantly raises a red flag. Suwon on her end finds it strange that this girlfriend knows nothing about the song. Confused, Liang asks her point blank if she is trying to interrogate her, then abruptly hangs up. Moments later, she knocks on the bathroom door, announcing his junior is on the line. Wu Chen takes the call and agrees to meet Miss Song, explaining things afterwards. To Liang, she wants to buy my music. Liang praises his incredible talents, but he playfully reminds her he is not done bathing yet before they kiss. She asks what else he is good at, and he warns her she is playing with fire. Just then, her own phone rings, leaving Liang wondering who could be calling now. Seeing Ding Ruang's name on the screen, Wu Chen tells her to go ahead and answer it while he grabs a towel. On the call, the boss tries to explain, but she mockingly replies that his men were no match, sitting on Wu Chen's lap. She tells him the call is just from that idiot. He gently scolds her, and she playfully pouts about his pinch. On the line, Ding Ruang hears their breathless, fragmented conversation. Taking the phone, Wu Chen asks him if he knows what mistake he made, hinting that a harsh punishment is coming. He begs for mercy, please no punishment, but the guy just hung up. Smashed his phone, probably, but Wu Chen says that is too easy. She shifts the subject. What kind of punishment does he actually mean?